Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is your pre-show here for what is your BSR MSA Kia World Series. The second season will get himself underway right about now. It's going to be fantastic. Jake Sparey, joined here by resident driver Craig McLeod-Evans. Now, Craig, it was certainly an interesting season in Season 1. We're looking for a really good anticipation here for what is the next season.
Yeah, it was a cracking season first time around. It went right the way down to the wire, so we've got plenty of hungry drivers to go and fight for this title again for the second season.
Yes, most certainly. And, well, where do you start off? Well, we start off with the Discovery, of course. Discovery teams, constructors, champions that, of course, held themselves the title fight as well. Pete Newman, then, who is champion, will be the man with the target on his back. He will be the one to look out for in the season. Surely he has to be here, Craig. One of the favourites to take the crown again.
Well, definitely. He's won it the first time around, so he is going to be the target man, like you said. But he's a very experienced driver, so he knows what he needs to do to get back-to-back titles.
Yeah, most certainly. Joined alongside him once again, it's Diogo Melro. Of course, Melro pushed him all the way to the final race, but one small mistake at Suzuka in the Casio Triangle meant that his challenge was over, with the likes of Chepelewski there trying to hunt him down. For Diogo, it seems that he got a slow start and he was a very improved driver throughout the midway through the season here. And Craig, it does have to be asked whether Diogo really is the #1 driver in this team.
It's going to be a tough question. I don't think Pete will agree with that one, but yeah, like you said before, Diogo had a slow start to the season, so I think if he was a bit more consistent there, then we could be talking about a different champion after Season 1.
Yeah, most certainly we could be talking about that. Of course, there are 3 drivers in the teams, and only 2 out of the 3 will score points. So for Cesare Rizzo, you have to say for the team's championship here, Craig, the pressure's off for him, because in terms of the reverse grids, races 2 and 3, he's going to be in a position where it's going to be more focused on him. But that first race, he can just go out there and race his own singles race. Yeah,
well, even when they were scoring all 3 drivers, they were such a dominant team. So with the 2 of them going, Pete and Diogo being as consistent as they are, it's going to be they're going to be the team to beat again. But like I said, it's going to be pressure off for Ches, but he's still going to want to rack up those points and do well for himself in the championship as well as the team.
Yes, most certainly. Look out for Team Discovery. Of course, they're going to be on the back looking for another Constructors title then to go with the original one last season. But looking now to this next team, we got ourselves the Euro team here. Roy Vervaeke will turn back into the team boss here once again. But the big shock, actually, and surprise from what was last season here, Craig, was Roy Vervaeke failed to pick up a race win despite the immense speed that he seems to have in this car. It's really surprising to see such a quick driver just not get the season he wanted.
It is surprising, but he wasn't the only one. There was other quick drivers, which we'll come to later on, who had the same. They were quick, but just didn't pick up the wins. But then again, he was very, very consistent throughout the season, and he was unlucky to not pick up wins and not to be pushing for the title right to the end.
Yes, most certainly. And well, alongside him is going to be Jörg Dankert once again. Now, Jörg's a driver who is still learning, still developing, still looking to try and get himself quicker and quicker as time goes by. So for a driver like Jörg Dankert, he's really learning under the experience of Roy Vervaeke and will be taking all that experience into the brand new season, Craig.
Yeah, he's actually got 2 very experienced teammates. He has got Roy, like you said, the team captain there. Roy's not only a quick driver, but he's a very clean driver as well. Probably, we'd have to check the stats, but he's quite possibly the cleanest driver we had last season. And also Peter Van Gogh, he's joined the team as well, and he's another very experienced quick driver that Jörg can definitely learn from.
Yes, most certainly. Peter Van Gogh then will join originally from the Tartan last season. Now, that's going to be one that's going to have a few eyes turning around in the paddock. You look at Peter Van Gogh, of course, with that fantastic maiden race win at Daytona, in one of the most fantastic finales I've seen for a long time. And Peter Van Gogh has the potential to be quick, has the potential to win races, and has the potential here to go incredibly well in the run of the championship, especially on his run of pace that he's recently just found.
He's a very, very consistent driver, and like you said, he did pick up his maiden win last season as well, so it'd be interesting to see if he was there from the start, how well he would have got on. But he will definitely be one of those drivers to watch as well.
Yes, you're ever the consistent team. Look out for them. They will be one to look out for later on in the season. The Cymru team then of Adam Hadfield, Alex Everett and Stephen Hull will be very interesting, because Adam Hadfield managed to beat his team captain to a higher position, therefore will take the number 7 number there. So for Adam Hadfield, he really seems to be in a position right now where he can push, he can try and be himself again, but there are going to be questions here about his ability to win races here, especially at Phoenix here, Craig, because he did crash out from the race lead.
Yeah, Adam's a quick driver. It's just a little bit of consistency that is lacking for him. He's just got to keep his nose clean and not let the pressure get to him. I think that's what happened to Phoenix. He was just under a little bit too much pressure, and yeah, the nerves got to him.
Yeah, most certainly Alex Everett will be looking to try and get a solid season. Of course, the Cymru team will be one of the most consistent teams in all the paddock. I've seen it quite a few times where they've been line astern throughout the midfield and then looking to push up further and further. Everett, of course, who can forget the 3 podiums at Laguna Seca, just proving what sort of class he has. But with quicker drivers coming into this league here, Craig, you have to wonder whether Alex Everett can repeat the success that he had of last season.
Yeah, well, I was just actually going to mention Laguna Seca there. That's probably, arguably, the drive of the season for everybody that Alex had there. But there is a lot of new talent coming in, a lot of quick drivers, and you know that'll only just push Alex forward. He's a very quick driver, and he'll take that pressure, and he'll push forward and get some more race wins with that.
Yes, most certainly. Now, Stephen Hall's a very interesting example here, Craig, because you look at Stephen Hall, and on paper, he doesn't look to be that quick, but when he comes into a session, when he comes into a race, he just seems to find that little bit of a spark, which nobody really expects, and he puts himself in positions where nobody expects him to be.
Yeah, Stephen's had a few fantastic races. I think a bit like Adam, pressure's got to him. He's not kept his nose clean where he should have. But Stephen's another one he's going to be up there fighting for race wins throughout the season, and they've got a very, very strong team, and they can certainly push for the team's championship.
Yes, most certainly look out for the Cymru team. Then they will be looking to try and get themselves up as high as they can. Of course, they squandered a second position in terms of the Constructors last season. They'll be looking to try and get second, or even possibly the Constructors title itself. The Tars and Lasses teams have just had a change of name, and of course they've turned now into the Alba team, and well, it'll be certainly a fantastic thing to see. Craig, going to talk about yourself for a little bit here, because of course this is your own team and you'll be looking to try and push your chances as best you can. Where do you see yourself finishing this season?
Hopefully kind of in the top 10 is my main aim. Obviously last season I didn't get quite up as high up the standings as I'd like. That's mainly due to work commitments and whatnot, so hopefully this season I can make a lot more races and push on as well. Didn't get any wins, got a couple of podiums, but get a couple of wins on the cars, and maybe a top 10 is my personal aim.
Yeah, top 10 personal aim will be certainly one to look out for. Now, Law Murray is going to come into this season on some scintillating form here, Craig, because you look at the final race at Suzuka, he got himself onto that lovely podium. Of course, the race where Stelian Czepeleski took the race win. You look at Law Murray, and he is just Mr. Consistency, and when he pulls a result out of the bag, everyone goes, oh my word, where on earth did that come from?
Yeah, certainly Lawrence has been on some fantastic form recently, and do you know what, he single-handedly got fourth in the constructors standings for us, so he's been on fantastic form lately. I think he had the best of starts to begin with, but he's gradually getting his pace there, and his racecraft's getting better, and he's pulling out the results that he needs to prove how quick a driver he actually is.
Yeah, most certainly. Of course, there are 3 drivers in this team as well, the likes of the number 12. That will be Ethan McColgan then, and he's a driver that I don't really know. I know him more from a broadcasting perspective rather than a driver's perspective. Craig, you'll have more insight on this driver. What do you expect for him this season?
Yeah, Ethan's a new one for the team, and he's come in new. Myself, Lauren, and Ethan, we also run a team over in the club series as well, so this is going to be a good bonding season for us, for both of them. Haven't raced much with Ethan, but from seeing him, he does have some good pace under his belt, but it's just a case of getting used to the car, getting used to the tracks, and just seeing how he fares, so hoping to get a good rookie season on the cards for Ethan.
Very good rookie season indeed will be needed, and of course the Alba team got themselves to 4th, but will they get themselves to 4th again? That will be a question that will be answered in the next 12 weeks. Make sure you stick out for those ones, because we're now moving on to the other Scottish team. Now this is the Highlanders team, and instantly there is one name that stands out head and shoulders above the rest. That is Julian Janowski here, and Craig, 8 race wins last season, the most out of any other driver. The potential to have gone and won the title had some results gone his way, had some results not. So for Janowski, it really is a title contention charge this time round.
Yeah, he's got the wins there. He just needs to back it up with other results. He just certainly has the pace. You've seen him come through the field countless times, passing everybody and just holding it in the lead. So the potential is there. He just needs to be a little bit more consistent in the other results as well.
Now, people are thinking Julian Janowski are going to be propping up this Highlanders team, but it's going to be interesting to see with Rick Scott, team captain, there in the number 15 machine. Of course, he was a midfield to backfield runner for last season. He'll be looking to try and push himself forward. I'm a little bit sceptical about his pace. I'm not sure if he can make that instant leap that other drivers are making. So, Craig, what do you think and expect out of Rick Scott this season?
Well, I've raced with Rick many times. His pace is gradually improving, and do you know what, he did show that in season 1. He had a fantastic race at Daytona, if I remember rightly. I think he ended up getting a podium or a 4th place, so the potential is there. It's just about being there for the races, getting some practice in, and just being confident with the car and confident with the track. But I think he can definitely push on and get some good midfield, and even push for the top results, maybe a couple of top 5s and a podium here or there as well.
Certainly will be very interesting now. A pretty much unknown driver then coming into this league. The 3rd member of the Highlanders squad is Henry Reeder now. Henry is a driver who we've seen in previous weeks looking to try and get to learn the car, looking to try and get as quickly as he can. He'll be needing to learn from Janowski and Scott to try and get up to speed very quickly. So sky's the limit surely for Henry Reeder.
Yeah, he's a driver that I don't really have any knowledge of at all, but he's got 2 experienced teammates there. He's got one in Rick, who's racing for quite a while, so he can pass on some experience, but he's got Janowski, and he's one of the best drivers to have as your teammate. He's got a lot of pace, and it'll be interesting to see how that rubs off on Henry, and it'll be good to see what results he can pick up in that car.
Yes, most certainly 5th place last season then for the Highlanders team. It'll be interesting to see where they'll put themselves in the end game, especially with Janowski being there looking to fight for what is race win after race win. Many will be feeling that Team Bermuda will be looking for something a little bit better this season after what was an abysmal season by their standards. Kip the Hairflick Stevens retains his #1 driver status and team captaincy, and he was another driver there, Craig, who didn't get himself a race win, but he was up there and did have an outside chance going into the final 3 races of the season.
Yeah, he did. He was a bit like Roy. He had the pace, he had the results, he just didn't have that race win that he needed as well. But Bermuda have a very strong team, Kip being obviously the one that's spearheading that, and I think if they can attend most of the races, I think that was what let them down. They weren't there for the majority of the races, but I think if they can pull themselves together, be there for the season, we could be seeing a new team champion.
Now, very interesting here about the driver who is second in their team is Jack McIntyre. Now, Jack McIntyre is a Nürburgring Nordschleife world record holder in the Kia Optima. That says multitudes about how quick a driver can be. You look at what happened at Phoenix, 1,000th of a second stopped him from getting the first ever clean sweep race here in the BSR Kia World Series. So Jack McIntyre arguably is the quickest driver in this league.
I think you could go one step further and say he is the quickest driver. When he's on his day, I think Jack's pretty much unstoppable. Again, same as the team as a whole, it was just attending the races which let his championship down. But I think if he's going to be there, he's going to be up near the front pretty much every single race. And with his pace, you could maybe see that clean sweep happening soon.
Yeah, most certainly. And well, the third driver is brand new coming in. That's Jason Greenfield now. Jason Greenfield's been there from midway through the season. He's been there towards the back of the grid and will be looking to try and push himself forward. He'll really be needing to use the massive experience and multitude of wealth from Kip Stevens and Jack McIntyre. So Jason Greenfield surely is in the best boat heading forward.
Oh, definitely. I think if you were to be a newcomer coming into this league, you couldn't have asked for a better 2 teammates than what Jason's got. We did see him last season. I think he looked a bit nervous in the car. He didn't quite have the pace that he was looking for, but he's got teammates now. He's got people that he can learn from and look at, and yeah, the sky's the limit for Jason. He'll get some good feedback from them, and they'll bring the team forward.
Most certainly look out for Bermuda. They will certainly be title contenders this season around. The England team will be looking for brighter sunshine after what was an abysmal season by their standards. You look at Max right now, who will spearhead the helm here in what is this England team now. Craig, he's one of these drivers who's gone from zero to hero very, very early on. And you look at the runs that he's had in the last few races of the season, he's really found a turn of pace.
Yeah, he's a bit like Lauren in that respect. They've both had kind of slower starts to the season, and it's picked up as they've gone on. And obviously he's now the leader of the England team, so he'll be looking to get the results and get that team forward and build some confidence into his teammates.
Yeah, most certainly you can see exactly what it means to be an England driver there. You look at the likes of also there, Lewis Bibby now. Lewis Bibby also got his maiden win. He got it at a fantastic race 2 at Summit Point, where literally anything that possibly could happen did happen, and Lewis Bibby will be very grateful for that first win. And you have to say, as a midfield runner who can get his first race win, you could see there is a lot of potential sitting there inside that England driver.
Yeah, there certainly is. He's obviously, like you said, he's had his first win, and although Lewis is a midfield runner, he's probably one of the top midfield runners. He's always there or thereabouts. He's not far off the leading pack, so all it needs is just a couple of mistakes from the people in front, and Lewis is right back up there looking for more wins.
Yes, most certainly. The third driver in that team is Mr. Alex Kite. Now, we haven't seen too much of Alex Kite. He turned up to a couple of races last season, and he showed himself some good form, good pace, so generally a clean driver. So, with a full season under his belt, who knows where he could finish up. Yeah, most certainly. Look out for the England team. They could be certainly hammering on the door of the top 5 places. That's going to be one they need to look out for. But we're going to move on to a brand new team then turning up into this series, and that is the Continental team right now. 3 drivers coming in. First of all is Klaus Pettersson. Now, he forms this team under the remnants of what was the Scandinavia team. Of course, he was pushing himself to be the best driver that he could be. He was their midfield and was the real Mr. Consistency of the season there, Craig. Because just wherever he finished, you didn't know where he was going to finish, you didn't really know where he finished, but you know it was somewhere pretty respectable.
Yeah, Klaus has been there from the start, so it was a shame he didn't have a team to go throughout the season with him. But he's been quite consistent. He's got a consistent midfield runner, and he's not finished. He's not had disqualifications so not throughout the season. He's always ended up picking up the points, finishing the races. And if he can just push on with his pace, then we could be seeing some good results from him, maybe a couple of podiums and a win if he's lucky as well.
If he's lucky as well, indeed, because his teammate to join alongside him is Mr. Aldo Massa. Now, Aldo's an incredibly quick driver and can be a driver who, on his day, could pick up a race win, could pick up that maiden race win. He was a little bit erratic when he came in, did pick up that 1 race ban, and well, a bit like Romain Grosjean in the Formula 1, he's come back from it, he's learnt, he's cleaner, he's more conservative, he's pushing, he's waiting, he's learning his driving skills with the car. I think that is so crucial for him to go forward and potentially get his first race win.
Yeah, very crucial. He is a very, very quick driver as Aldo, but he was very hot-headed as well, and he has reined that in quite a bit now, so he's a lot calmer, he's still got his pace, and yeah, I can see him taking several wins this season, and just if he can hold it together, I can see him maybe challenging for the title as well.
Yeah, most certainly he could. Now, the third driver of that team is a Mr. Kenneth Bierhoff. Now, Kenneth's in a situation where he's not the quickest, he's still getting to grips with the car again, like a couple of other drivers, and, well, Aldo Massa will be certainly one that he can definitely learn from, but knowing Kenneth's mentality, he'll be certainly there and gain quite a bit of pace throughout the season.
Yeah, Kenneth's not one of those drivers I don't know too much about, but what I do know about Kenneth is that he's very, very eager. He's eager to learn as well, and he does have two good teammates there that he can learn from. And he's got the consistency of Klaus and the speed of Massa, so he does have 2 teammates that he can learn from, and he could again help this team push on and get them quite high up the standings.
Most certainly Continental then will be an unknown factor, and we'll see where on earth they will head themselves out in the shuffle. But we move now on to the F4H Motorsport USA team then. 3 drivers who will be looking to try and get themselves some solid seasons. The first one being Anthony Mahoney. Now, I don't really know too much about this USA team. Anthony Mahoney, of course, the only thing I really know about him is he's an incredibly skilled painter, so we'll see if he gets a master stroke and a brush through in towards this series. So, Craig, I think there's still some places where this American team can go, especially with Mahoney at the helm.
Yeah, this USA team, you mentioned Continental being a bit of an unknown. For me, the USA team as a whole can be an unknown. I have never raced against any of these drivers, so it'll be interesting to see how they get on. And Anthony is a fantastic paint. They're all going to plan. You should be able to see the paints in the background now. But the designs he's made for the car are phenomenal, so let's hope he's got some pace to go with it.
Most certainly their second driver alongside him is Tyler Jones. Now, again, we don't really know too much about Tyler Jones. It's going to be just a case of waiting, seeing if he's going to be quick, if he's going to be slow, whether he has the potential to be up there fighting for top 5s, top 10s, whether he's going to be fighting towards the midfield, the back of the field. It's going to be interesting to see where Tyler Jones is going to finish out.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I'm not too sure what experience these guys have as well, being in the Kia or being in a touring car league, so it all depends how they take to the league as a whole. But I can see them all being talking together, getting some good consistent results on the cards, and you never know, this USA team could throw in a lot of surprises for us.
Most certainly they could. Now, the third driver I do have particular knowledge of, and that is George Ratchis. Now, it's not often that you hear the phrase batten down the Ratchis when George Ratchis is around. Of course, he is a driver who's still trying to learn, but I have seen him a couple of times really try and throw that car into the corner, and sometimes it does work, sometimes it doesn't work. So maybe it's going to be a steep learning curve for George Ratchis, maybe it won't be. It's going to be a question of knowing exactly how to tame this ferocious Kia Optima.
Yeah, time will tell for George, so we'll see how he gets on with his teammates there. And yeah, like I said before, there could be a surprise package team for the season.
Surprise package indeed. Look out then for what is the FOH USA team. They will be looking for a great opportunity. A brand new team coming in then, and the last team that we need to mention is the Portuguese Sailors team, and they will be certainly looking for a fantastic result there, especially with their first driver, Carlos Diaguez. Carlos and the driver after them, they have some real potential here, Craig. I've seen a couple of races that they've done, and they've been up there fighting with the likes of Viveka and Melro. There is a real chance that this Portuguese Sailors team could come in and revolutionise the BSR Kia World Series.
Yeah, out of all the new drivers and new teams, this is probably the one that scares me the most. In our pre-season practices, Carlos, I think he's been up there and been one of the quickest. So we'll see how that turns out, how that goes into race pace. I've not actually raced against him, but in test sessions he's certainly got the pace for us over a single lap. We'll just see how it goes for the race as a whole.
Yes, most certainly. I've been looking into what is the practice sessions for the start of this season, and well, Gabriel Pereira has certainly put his name up in lights there. He managed to get himself a pole position ahead of the likes of Melro and Viveka. He'll be really one to look out for, and if that's sort of pace that you're looking at, being faster than the guy who finished second in the championship, the guy who finished in the top 5 in the championship, you have to say Gabriel Pereira is a title contender.
Quite possibly, and you know what? If the team as a whole has a lot of racecraft, this could be a dark horse for the title, in the team's championship at least. So we'll see how they get on individually, but as a whole package, I can see them going a long way in this championship.
The final driver, of course, in this team is a driver I don't really know too much about, and that is Ricardo Ferreira Simons there. And well, he'll be an unknown factor. He'll be the one of this Portuguese Sailors team that will be looking to try and push himself through, will be looking for that opportunity to arise, will be looking to try and get those consistent results in to help the team. Of course, 2 out of 3, if you've got those two guys of Diaguez and Pereira, they're scoring great points. Simons will only be a great addition to the team there, Craig.
Yeah, definitely, he's the one I'm not too sure about, but judging for his teammates and the pace that they have, if he's anywhere near as quick as them, then again, they're definitely be one of the ones to watch this season.
Dark horses for the constructors, dark horses for the title. You have to look out for this Portuguese Sailor team. It's going to be certainly very interesting. Very interesting as well. We do have a couple of independent drivers as well, but you will find those out later on as the races progress. This has been your pre-show. This has been your introduction to the teams this season. That's been Craig McLeod-Evans. I've been Jake Sparey. Let's get to the action for round 1 at Silverstone Southern. Well, at first we had ourselves a Genesis last season, but now comes our Exodus. This is a brand new season. 12 weeks to decide yourself who will be the greatest driver in all of the BSR MSA Kia World Series. We start at the proverbial home of Apex Racing TV. We start at the proverbial home of the BSR Kia World Series. We're here at Silverstone running the Southern Circuit. Jake Sparey here with Toby Burn, and well, Toby, we have to say exactly everything that we need to about this. Pete Newman is your champion, but he is not here.
Indeed, yeah, and that's obviously not the ideal start for a champion. You know, you want to be right in there, and you're going to want to be, start the work towards your title defence as soon as you can, and especially when Diogo Melro, who battled him all the way to the end last season, is here to take any points against him that he can.
Yeah, most certainly here. We're in qualifying at the moment here. We've got ourselves about 5 minutes 15, and then final laps will come in. Fastest guy on circuit at the moment just come through is Julian Janowski, 108.576. McIntyre across the line does a 108.631. Then he puts himself up on the front row for the Bermuda team, and well, big talking point right now is Jack McIntyre is now a former Nürburgring Nordschleife world record holder. Somebody's managed to go and beat him, so is that niggling in his mind here, do you think, Toby? Do you think he'll be using this race as part of revenge for losing his accolade?
Well, I mean, I think it's a separate kettle of fish for McIntyre. I think he's going to be purely focused on the task at hand today. I think his mind's in the right place, and he's going to be able to go well here. I mean, being beaten by a pad on the Nürburgring is definitely something to be frustrated about, but I think he's got all the concentration he needs in his mind to get the job done today.
Yes, most certainly, but there is a driver that we do have to look at right now. We'll look at him going down the Hanger Straight. 147, Robert Plumley enters session. Of course, he was an Independence champion in the BSR Pro Series. And well, you can see right now, he moves out of the way to get ready to start his first flying lap right now. You can see there's the pit entry. It's very astute on the left-hand side, but we're going to take you through what is a lap. Toby, take yourself away. This is a lap of Silverstone Southern.
So, a lap of Silverstone Southern with the man himself, Robert Plumley, as we're coming in to start our lap now. And yeah, as you say, in the pit lane is a very, very tricky one for the drivers to get right. And this corner is up for discussion as well, which we'll get into later. But this is our lap with Robert Plumley. A lot of drivers have been concerned about him returning, as he's very quick, like you mentioned. Coming through the chicane now, I believe, where a lot of drivers have been having a lot of trouble through practice, and it looked like he did get a bit of a twitch on the back end there, managed to get the rear end settled down and get going again. Now we are on the straight through into the next set of corners, which again, a lot of drivers again finding hard. There's two sets of chicanes here that are really giving the drivers some thought to think about. They've got a lot to comprehend over this lap and a lot to put out there. And as we come onto the Hanger Straight now, there's a car off to the left on the grass. I'm not sure if that's been an incident there or if it's just a very innovative way of getting out of the way. But as we come up to start, it's looking like a pretty good lap so far. Robert Plumley doing about an average speed of about 100 miles an hour now. He's got a time of his own. In practice was a 109 point dead for Plumley. So we're going to come through to the final of sectors of the lap and see what we can put down on the table. And it is looking like a pretty good one. We had a bit of oversteer coming through the chicanes and such, but coming around the corner now, and we are pretty good at the moment. Our last lap for Plumley was that 1 minute 10.8, of course.
Yeah, most certainly there. Not the best of laps then from Robert Plumley. Puts him down P17 for the 147 machine. And well, you got to look at the times at the moment. Julian Janowski has just put his car 3/10 quicker than anybody else on circuit. 108.345. Look at Alex Everett there in the Cymru team, because I can say it right for the very first time. Here as we head ourselves down here towards Through the Vale. Final time. Here we go. Here's the lap 109 flat. Not any quicker that time by, but you can see trying to help his teammate out, Adam Hadfield. And well, Adam Hadfield's been a driver here who's really been struggling. 2 minute warning to go here, Toby. He needs to get a good lap at the moment, P4.
He really does. It's going to be crucial because, of course, with this being a small track and having such a turn one, it's going to be, track position will be as crucial as anyone. As we just saw someone in the background there having a bit of an off moment through the chicane. But yeah, it is crucial. It will really help his chances if he can get a bit further up, of course. And of course, with practice today, we've seen a lot of drivers. And going back to that lap with Plumley, you can see how just that tiny moments of oversteer that we had, it can just cost you so much time. And that's why this track is such a challenge for the drivers.
Yes, it certainly will be. 1 minute 10 seconds says qualifying is still there. A lap is 1 minute 8. So we're expecting to see the final lap start for Marius Mulder then, here on a 1:11.5. Just set his fastest lap of qualifying. He's there in 20th out of 22 at the moment here, heading himself now what is around this club section right now. Head yourself now down into Abbey. Very difficult here. You're not going to go left to do the international, no. You're going to hit the right left. We can see a few guys have got themselves on the curbs, and you can see very tentative, cautious from Mulder. We're going to look back here to find ourselves a few cars to look at. Henry Reeder actually here runs himself very wide. Off track, won't get that one, but Jack McIntyre will certainly be looking for his laps. 30 seconds then is on the clock. You've got to look, you've got to try and find out where all your time is. McIntyre's second for Bermuda at the moment. Heads himself now to Ireland, the very difficult fast chicane then. Into the right, left, right. Make sure he gets it right. Perfect here. Heads to Beckett's now, and you can see now going to try and use Henry Reeder here as the slipstream down the Hanger Straight. He's almost timed this to perfection right now. Has Jack McIntyre. Brilliant stuff here is going to go. The clock coming down. 3, 2, 1. Finish your lap. This is the final opportunity you have. We're going to stay with Jack McIntyre in the 18. Rounds himself here into Stowe Corner. bit of a slide there, bit of a wiggle. I don't think it's going to be quick enough. We'll see if he can go quicker. Answer is 1086 does nothing. He does not do a lap there. You can see Murray driving for the line now. You can see so many cars going to go for it. Kip Stevens, he's all the way down in 12th, and his practice times for second. It's going to be so crucial. Can he get the lap time that he so richly deserves? Stevens to the line, does a 109.6. No, doesn't get anything that he wanted in that respect there, and it's really not worked out for a few guys. Still, Ricardo Ferreira here, who's P6 right now, he's still on a lap time and still could set something. I think he's one of the last guys to do it there. They had to deal with traffic there in the run to the line. Does himself 108.901. Doesn't work out for Ricardo Ferreira in the end. In the end, he can only go and do himself P number 6. But with everything said and done in that respect, I believe almost everyone has finished a lap time. We could possibly see right now exactly what everyone's done in qualifying results. Julian Janoski then, pole position, 108.345, 3/10 quicker than anybody else in the field. He's really showing why he should be in contention for the title this time by. Jack McIntyre will put his car second with Diogo Melro there, who was oh so close in third. Alex Everett will join alongside on row 2. Row 3 sees Adam Hadfield and Ricardo Ferreira. Gabriel Pereira then, two newcomers there in 6th and 7th for the Portuguese sailors. Max Wright there in 8th for the England team. Henry Reeder will put himself there in 9th with Tyler Jones in 10th. Robert Plumley there, the Independents in 11th with Kip Stevens 12th. Cesare Rizzo 13th, Lorne Murray 14th, Peter Van Gool there 15th with Craig McLeod-Evans. Row number 9, Lewis Bibby and Joe Dankert. There you can see Jason Greenfield, Marius Mulder, Nathaniel Simpson and Kenneth Bierhoff as well. So Toby, it's 2 minutes to grid right now, and you've got to be very, very cautious here because the run to turn number 1, it bottlenecks up, and it's so difficult to make sure that everyone gets through cleanly.
It is, and it's going to be really close for the drivers to keep the nose out of any trouble, because with a bottleneck corner as that, it's so easy for someone to just squeeze down onto you. And there's been a lot of talk this weekend, Jake, about quarter paneling, and if you touch that quarter panel, there's a chance that you're going to effectively pit maneuver that driver out of any contention of a good result.
Yeah, it's certainly going to be interesting here. You can see actually as well here, the driver who starts on pole does not have the racing line into turn number 1, will have to deal with the dirty line, which could be very crucial here for getaway as well. You got to remember here, another minute to go. Cars will be then finding themselves in a position known as pit lane, and nobody wants to be there. A couple of cars we're waiting for. Robert Plumley is certainly one of them that we're going to be waiting out for. Ricardo Ferreira next to him. Adam Hadfield still yet to get on, and same for Jack McIntyre as well. So we can see the cars now all starting to filter, file up, trying to make sure that the fuel is, of course, it's 20 minutes, and then we'll have 2 more races after this with potential reverses there being applied. Not exactly going to be full, but we're going to find out what the wheel trademark can do. So 30 seconds left. Pick for your race win here, Toby.
I think it's going to be very hard for anyone to take it off Janowski this weekend. He's just been on the ball the entire way through.
Yeah, most certainly. You can see engines now starting to rev up. Everyone waiting for the opportunity for what is the lights to go out just as themselves. 10 seconds then to get themselves correct. Otherwise, it is going to be a wait in pit lane. So there you can see the cars lined up. It's all going to be about that run to the first corner. You can see right now, 2 minutes has just expired. Now we're just waiting for what is the engines. They're revving. A new season, an exodus will start now. Here we go, the run to turn number 1. It seems it's been a good start by all. It's a fantastic start there from what is the 3rd row there. I believe that is going to be Ricardo Ferreira who gets it right. You can see already there's going to be contact left and right, and it's a massive bottleneck to the middle, and you can see cars flying themselves around. Still got a car turn around there. I don't quite know who that is, and I believe that is Max Wright, and we actually had Tyler Jones up on his roof at one stage as well, so it hasn't worked out. You can see still finding themselves. Cold tyres going to be so crucial, and there you can see Adam Hadfield, massive slide, but behind that is going to be Ricardo Ferreira, who gets a massive slide through the Abbey chicane and loses out more time. Toby, it's already happened very early on.
It was, and it was, it's always going to be so hard to avoid these things from happening with such a corner like that. And one of the Welsh cars, the Camry cars, has had a massive incident there. He had a slide and he's just gone over the road, and it looks like our leader is already under pressure, Jake.
Yes, it does. Adam Hadfield then was under threat. Janowski then and McIntyre. They had a fantastic ding-dong season back at Phoenix to the outside looks Jack McIntyre, but no, cannot get it right. We'll probably look for the cutback mentality, the cutback opportunity heading down through the Vale. And to finish the first lap, this is how your field looks. It's Janoski, McIntyre, who has a look to the inside, doesn't happen. Melro in third, Everett fourth, Ferreira fifth, Pereira sixth, Stevens, and then Cesare Rizzo having a massive scrap with Robert Plumley there, with Lewis Bibby just behind. That is how your top 10 looks, and we'll actually stay with Robert Plumley and Lewis Bibby. Bibby, a fantastic midfield runner here, and he's going to have a great opportunity now as he looks at the move down into the Abbey chicane.
Yeah, of course, and I mean, when you're so close, these cars are very good on the slipstream, and when, you know, with these chicanes leading onto straights like they do, Jake, if you get any form of, you know, like oversteer, and that driver behind you nails it, then you're going to be a sitting duck for that entire straight.
Yeah, most certainly. We'll look at the leaders once again, because you can see here the gap around about 0.2 of a second when they cross the line. It's about 0.2 of a second once again. Now you can see the slipstream effect start to take effect here down the long hanger straight. Of course, very ferocious when it was in Formula 1, well, it still is in Formula 1, and now you can see a move to the outside. Will have to go. McIntyre will try the same move once again, but again, not going to happen here. And a good block pass there by Janoski. He's not going to let his man through. Of course, there's 20 minutes to fight, and with lap times like this, we're thinking 16 laps for a race. It's certainly going to be very crucial, but Diogo Mero actually is doing a very good job in third. He's just keeping his nose out of trouble, and is showing what sort of pace he had at the end of last season.
Yeah, indeed. Great pace from Melrose, of course, taking it to the wire all the way there. But while you was just saying that, Jake, our leader now, Janoski, really feeling the pressure. He had a huge lock-up into the final corner, and he's still got, McIntyre all over the back of him. It's going to be very hard to take our eyes off this battle, because it is so close, and he is also so close now. We're coming through the chicane, where, of course, if Janoski gets a slight bit of oversteer and McIntyre nails it, then he's going to be that sitting duck like we were just talking about all the way down that straight, Jake.
Yeah, most certainly, and it looks a little bit closer than it was, but behind, Alex Everett is shadowing his man very, very closely as well in Diogo Mero. That one's not too close, but we're going to stay with this one. Battle for your race lead here. McIntyre a little bit closer. We'll probably have to do it to the outside. Looking to go Ryan Hunter-Reay to the inside. Not going to happen here, but we'll try and run the outside line at Stowe. Oh, that's going to be brave here. And actually, he is going to run a little bit onto the curbs here, and he's got the inside now. Got the nose for turn number one, and while he gets himself on the brake to the inside, outside line for Janoski. Time's being wasted. They're bringing in Mero, bringing in Everett, but still, McIntyre holds on, Toby.
This is a fantastic battle, Jake. I mean, if he was able to hold on to that manoeuvre around the outside, that would be like a submission for move of the season, and we're only in round one of race one. You know, this is unbelievable stuff from our leaders, and Janowski's doing a fantastic job at defending. You know, there was an opportunity for him to get up the inside there, but he slammed that door on him so well. Great driving from both of them.
Great driving here on iRacing Live, brought to you by Apex Racing TV. This is sensational stuff in the battle for lead. McIntyre again with a bit of a look, but it doesn't quite happen. Let's look further down your field, see if we can get ourselves a cheeky little battle going on. Nathaniel Simpson then, who has turned into an independence driver for this season, of course, recently just had himself a newborn son in Noah, and massive congratulations to that. But you can see he's chasing down Cesare Rizzo then. This is your battle for 14th on circuit here, Toby. And, well, Cesare Rizzo's really looking to try and get some solid results here for the drivers' standings. Not so much for the constructors, but with his teammate not there, it's certainly not going to work as McIntyre takes the lead.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the Discovery team, without arguably one of their strongest drivers, as Cesare gets a really bad lock-up into Stowe there, again putting him under more pressure from the car behind. And this car behind him, Jake, is not, as he's looking for a very late dive bomb, almost contact between the two of them there. And this is just a battle again to keep it. You know, everywhere you look, there is a battle going on. And now with McIntyre in the league, I'm sure Janoski is going to want to fight back.
Yeah, most certainly. We're going to go then back up to your leading trainer for then in this, your first race through Ireland. They come along, and now the run to Beckett's, and McIntyre now starting to stretch his legs. That gap's a lot bigger than what Janoski ever had during what was the opening couple of laps of this race. We're already on lap 5, and it's amazing to think that we've only raced 5 minutes into this race so far. You can see Melrose now trying to close in that gap just that little bit more onto Julian Janoski here, and it's a real battle of wills, a battle of wits. Of course, Janoski, formerly an independent driver, now puts himself in a team and now can really be the catalyst. This could be the catalyst here, Toby, that ignites a season of prosperity.
Yeah, Definitely, with McIntyre making that move, that has caused, like a domino effect. The other two cars behind them have just been able to make so much time on them, just training each other, slipstreaming, as very close. Janowski got through that corner back there, and he's definitely gaining time all over the back of McIntyre. McIntyre as well, hopping the curb a bit more than Janowski there, which is obviously the thing that Janowski needs. When you're going through a chicane like that, any small mistake can make such a tiny little difference that will make the difference between, being in first and being in second, like we're seeing now.
Yeah, a couple of drivers out of the race at the moment. We're looking at Tyler Jones and Henry Reeder, who will both be very upset with what's happened with them. Here you can see Janowski still not quite close enough here. You're starting to see these slipstream trains now get to form, and when you see the second half of the race coming up, it's going to be a case of whose tyres are going to last the longest, who's been using more, because you would use more if you're up on two wheels a lot more often. Battle going on here for 5th and 6th, and it's between two teammates here, Toby. You look at it, Gabriel Pereira ahead with Ricardo Ferreira behind. Both of them new to the league, both of them showing incredibly good pace, but both of them in a position where they need to work together in order to catch the train ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I was speaking to Gabriel before the race, and he seems very confident that he can come into this league and he can, put his mark down on it. And this battle will definitely be able to showcase his skills. Definitely something to put on his resume for the rest of the season if he can manage to hold off the everlasting assault from Ferreira behind him. Another driver who had quite a good start, Jake, was Craig McLeod Evans in the background. He managed to navigate way through his chaos, and I think with his birthday coming up on Monday, I think that would have definitely been the present he was looking for. Not so much as a podium, but definitely something.
Yeah, definitely something then. The birthday boy is up 6 positions, so is Lewis Bibby just ahead of him, but we do have a battle for your race lead. Janowski's been looking all lap long for the opportunity to get back through. 14 on 18 then. Here, as you can see, slipstream. We'll have to look to the outside line here. Very defensive line taken there by McIntyre. Just lists over then into what is the middle of the track there. Make sure he keeps the car planted, keeps it sorted. But you can see Janowski having a little bit of a look then. Might go for the inside, no. Goes defensive, but now lap traffic starts to take effect. That's Kenneth Bierhoff there, who is going to be looking to try and get himself out of the way.
Yeah, definitely. And that is the exact thing. Jack McIntyre definitely repaying Janowski the favour for all those laps of defence through that corner. And that's definitely the kind of thing that Janowski needed to do when he was almost overtaken, if you remember, around the outside of that corner earlier on this race. As they're approaching the back markers, the back marker gets out of the way nice and well for them, so that's not going to affect anybody too much. You might see a driver cheekily try to pick up a bit of slipstream, but you don't on this occasion. And with the tyres situation coming into play, like you said, yeah, that's definitely going to affect them. As just look how close Janowski gets through that corner, but it causes McIntyre to get a better exit. But on this occasion, they've got about the same exit, and now Janowski is definitely feeling the pressure from Melra behind him. He's closing in every lap, Jake.
Yeah, Diogo Melra really is looking for an opportunity. Of course, he is off of the back of 2 Pro Series wins, if I'm correct. It might be Club Series, I'm not too sure with my facts, but Melra really on a high, really, with his pace, with his skill, and now we'll be looking to try and cement it here in the BSR World Series, firmly now set upon the back of this 3-car train, with Alex Everett just trying to hold on to the coattails, as it were. But we are going to look further back down through your field, because Lewis Bibby and Robert Plumley, they haven't got away here, but they are catching up Kip the Hairflick Stevens right now in that number 4 machine Bermuda driver. And for Kip Stevens, he's really looking for an opportunity to push, really looking to try and get that first race win in this series, which he still hasn't yet got after being what is a Pro Series champion. It just seems for Kip Stevens, it might be just that he's not quite got what he needs.
Yeah, Kip seems to be under a bit of pressure this weekend. The other drivers have picked up on that, and they're sniffing off him like blood, like shark with a blood, all over the back of him, and they're not going to let him go anytime soon. But very slowly coming onto the back of this train is the man who navigated his way through all the disaster at the start, and he's just there, but he's being followed closely by Hadfield. And I can see Craig McLeod Evans being caught by Hadfield, and maybe them two using each other to actually catch up to this train and, further impact the situation for Kip.
Potential is there. We have just gone over the halfway threshold. 10 minutes to go then in your opening race, and already you can see how it looks. Jack McIntyre then holding off then at the moment from a hard charging Julian Janowski there, excuse me for a second. Diogo Maro the third, Alex Everett in fourth. Then you got Pereira and Ferreira, the two Portuguese sailors working together. Stevens, Plumley, Bibby and Craig McLeod-Evans there trying to push themselves through the field at the moment. But there is something to note here, Toby, and that is instant points. Of course, last season it was 17 instant points that you get generated and then you get disqualified. For this season, that's come down. That's now 13 points. All these drivers have to be a lot more careful and a lot more precise.
Yeah, definitely. That's definitely put them on the situation that they need to be aware of. So, you know, you might see a lot less risks being taken, but in a sprint race like this, Jake, I think everyone's going to try everything they can. And of course, with the turn 2 incidents we've been having this weekend, iRacing, the inbuilt penalty system in this game actually lets you cut that enormously without actually getting any penalty as a result of it. But the league has stated that you can cut that corner with 2 wheels, but if you go over with 4, it's a slam dunk penalty, Jake.
Yeah, most certainly it could be, and well, you've got to be careful then about how you place that car then through what is going to be club corner into the alley chicane. The leaders come along once again, and Diogo Maro runs a little bit wide on exit there. That's going to compromise the run up to Ireland. And now you can see Alex Everett there trying to close himself into the right hand as they come along, which is so difficult because the car is wanting to go. And actually, massive mistake over just ahead. Janowski then will take to the gravel. He will go and lose the car there and replay up on screen.
That was clumsy. That was literally what I was talking about, Jay. That is the exact incident that happens when you try to take too much through that corner and it comes back, and you end up, when you take too much, it's never going to end well, and that has cost a potential victory for Janowski here. There's not enough time for him to undo that damage. His sights have gone from a win to a podium, Jake.
Yeah, most certainly. He's down in fourth, and he's got his arch rival just ahead of him, Alex Everett. The words have been heading against each other all of last season, and now this season, Everett will be looking to try and get the one up very early on, and this is the chance that he will have. No doubt he will fight hammer and tongs over this one. This one is not going to be over by any stretch of anybody's imagination. Down to Abby and Toby, not quite close enough.
No, I think he's going to be seeing the red mist now, Jake. He might make another silly mistake, but he's all over the back of him now, and he's going to look to the inside. This might be the opportunity, but it's not quite going to be able to do it on this time. But I think there was a nudge there, Jake. I think there was a nudge, and they almost caused an incident between them coming through this corner. Now they've both got away with it, but I think the red mist is descending, and that was shown just on that nudge we've just had on the rear bumper of Everett.
Everett has done oh so well to hold the car. You tell that there's going to be no room given between them, but there was a little bit less than that when they came down into the island chicane. So difficult to get a move sorted. Janowski, it was a game of the last 11 because you talk about John Lacey doing that. What this has done has meant that the gap's gone then to the leaders. McIntyre now has opened up at least a 1.3 second gap. Yes, gap is 1.3, 109 flat compared to a 109 flat. Last time that was a 110.5 there, Toby. You can just see how Alex Everett and Julian Janowski are now fighting for third.
Unbelievable stuff, and I mean, with the tension already between these drivers, that's definitely going to escalate things. I think Everett will feel a bit annoyed by Janowski's manoeuvre there, but Janowski, I think, has the right to be annoyed more than anyone after that silly mistake he made, as he was all over the back of Everett through that corner, very close there, but he's losing time by making these silly mistakes, and that has... If there was an incident between the two leaders, only something small, and Janowski having a big slide, going across the grass again, and that's the silly mistake on the red mist that I'm talking about, Jake.
Yes, it is, and that's another mistake. And he's just trying to take too much out of the corner, go too quick, try and cut all that time. And, well, there's a limit there, and he's just gone through the glass ceiling. Well, you have to say it has really affected him because now he falls into the clutches of the Portuguese sailors, Ferreira and Pereira. And now, actually, we do have to talk about Craig McLeod-Evans here. He just made the move down into the Abbey chicane and now puts himself now P9. This is a fantastic result, up 7 positions so far here, Toby.
The birthday boy, as we were speaking about, is now actually getting retaken, Jake, for that position, but he's going to battle it all the way. He's going to battle tooth and nail as he's going to hold the inside line now. Is he going to be able to hold it? And he is. He got the position. The position was taken back, and now he's had to reclaim it again. What an incredible drive here from the birthday boy.
Yeah, most certainly, and Lewis Bibby's trying everything to get himself through. You could see the 2 tyres, runs a little bit wider, and now, inside line, looks for what is Abbey chicane. No, not going to happen on the brakes, but you can see, there's a little bit of contact between the two. bumpers room, and we can say this is the touring cars of the iRacing world. Greg McLeod-Evans has certainly tried his hand, and McLeod-Evans now firmly puts himself in the right position then. So this is how your field looks. We've hit the 5-minute warning. McIntyre, Melrose, Everett, Janowski, Ferreira. That's how your top 6 looks. And now Ferreira will surely be looking for an opportunity to get past the man with 8 race wins last season here, Toby.
Yeah, definitely. These guys definitely making an impact earlier on. You know, they say that the first race is feeling out your opponents, you know, feeling them, finding out what you can try on them and if they will give you the room to do that. And we're doing more than feeling them out here, Jake. We're full on blowing into them.
Yeah, most certainly here. It's certainly being a very interesting race indeed. Gap at the front then is down to 7/10 of a second then between Diogo Melrose and Jack McIntyre. Discovery versus Bermuda there, and it's certainly going to be one that is going to ignite in the next few laps. Melrose has the advantage of being in a title fight last season. McIntyre's very infrequent at turning up to races, but if anything is to go by form, you have to remember here, Toby, that McIntyre led the championship out of race 3 last time we were doing this season, and that was at the Nürburgring.
Yeah, definitely, and he'll have all that experience with him, Jake, that he'll need to adapt here. I mean, this is definitely, the pressure is on here for Jack McIntyre. Now we see how well of a race winner he will be here today. He has to now endure for the last few minutes of this race. He has to endure a never-ending onslaught from Melrose, who we know, Jake, is an incredibly fast driver and will put everything on the line to get a win.
Put everything on the line indeed he will need to do. McIntyre that time by 1:09.3. Melrose that time by a 1:08.8. That is nothing, and we have 2.5 minutes to play with right now. Here, down on the brakes into the Abbey chicane, and you can see still not quite close enough there for Diogo Melrose. McIntyre just eases out the gap. He ekes out the gap just enough, so he has breathing room now as they head into the island chicane right now. What is going to be certain is that we've got ourselves a couple of laps left to go, and it's certainly one where we have to keep your eyes on the lead and the eyes further behind as well with Janowski and Ferreira.
Yeah, definitely, and Janowski's going to be feeling absolutely robbed by himself this race, and he's not under a lot of pressure from Ferreira right now, about 6 tenths between them, but that's going to be enough to annoy him because, you know, earlier on he was 6 tenths from the lead, and now he's 6 tenths from getting a podium. Well, not even a podium now. You know, it's so far away from him, and it's just incredible how one silly mistake can have a domino effect and just cause such problems.
Such problems indeed that has caused him to lose so much time. You look at Ferreira now having a little bit of a look then onto the back of Janowski into turn number 1 and then turn 2 a club. No, not close enough just yet. You got to look though back at the gap here with leaders. It is half a second with 2 to go around this circuit. It's going to be so crucial to see Melrose and versus McIntyre. This is what we wanted to see all last season. This is what we were robbed of, but now we're going to get it here into Ireland. They come along and still not quite close enough for Melrose. I'm going to take it to the flag from here, but they do have traffic to deal with. Marius Mulder then, the South African in the 101 Independence driver, has to get himself out of the way at some stage, has a very long hanger straight to it, but what this does allow is the slipstream to come into Jack McIntyre's effect right now. You can see Melrose hounding him, trying to find the mistake, the chink in the armour that is so frequently looked for, so frequently desired. This is a battle of wills. One more lap to go as they round this corner here of Stowe and into Club, and you can see had to get out of the way very sharply into the final lap. They come along, and it's so crucial into turn 1. Not close enough then for Diogo Melrose in the number 2. Turn 2 a Club. Can he get himself around? No, still not quite close enough just yet. It will have to be a move down into Stowe, you have to feel, because I don't think he can quite get it down into the right left of this, the Abbey chicane, on the brakes, into the right left. We do have battles further back between Kip Stevens and also Robert Plumley. That's one to look out for in the battle for 7th and 8th. But now, the slipstream, looking at Diogo Melrose right now. Let's go on board as we head ourselves down into Ireland. See a wider line taken, try to maximise the run as straight as you possibly can through this section. But I don't think it's close enough. Bar a dive bomb attempt. It is going to be Diogo Melrose who will have to sleep for seconds right now. And will you have to say McIntyre's done everything right from the front of the field. He got to the front early on, and he made sure everything's right. You can see the gap closing. I don't think Melrose close enough, though. On the brakes, final corner. No, won't have. Jack McIntyre from Bermuda will come across the line. Will take the first race of the night, first race of the new season, and what it was. Brilliant result there for Melrose as well. Second, Everett will get himself onto the podium alongside, and a drive for the line. It seems that Ferreira can't beat Julian Janowski.
Yeah, Jack McIntyre did everything he needed to do here, and he 100% deserves that. You know, he was able to keep his cool, and that was the difference between him and Janowski's performance tonight. He did not crack under pressure, and he did everything he needed to do, and that's paid off with a win, almost making a fantastic manoeuvre as well. He made the pass, he kept his cool, and he thoroughly deserves this race win.
He thoroughly does. Still a battle going on then. Drive for the line then. Nathaniel Simpson and Ger Dankert, former teammates now. You can see the drive going on. Simpson, well, he's got the position there on the final lap. Plumley did get Kip Stevens in the end. And there you can see Peter Van Gool and also Jason Greenfield as well. They're the last two cars to come across the line. Let's run you through now your classified results for everybody here at this first race here from Silverstone Southern. And in the end, Jack McIntyre will come across the line, take a memorable race win then. He gets himself a win by just over half a second from Diogo Melro. Alex Everett will finish third with Julian Janowski fourth. Ricardo Ferreira will finish off in fifth in a drag race to the line. Gabriel Pereira, his teammate, in sixth. Plumley in the 147 edges out Kip Stevens in the end, 7th and 8th. With Craig McLeod-Evans 9th and Lewis Bibby rounding out the top 10. Adam Hadfield will come across the line 11th. There's Cesare Rizzo. Nathaniel Simpson, not the race he would have desired. I think a lack of practice has just come in and hurt him there. Max Wright as well for the England team hasn't worked out. Same for Jason Greenfield and Peter Van Gool. Cars that failed to finish were a lap down. You look at it, Marius Mulder there, 1 lap down. Bierhoff failing to finish. Henry Reeder not finishing as well as Tyler Jones. Well, for now, we are going to have ourselves a very, very quick driver interview with someone. We're going to join you up with a driver who managed to finish himself up in 3rd position overall, and that guy is Alex Everett. Alex, you stuffed there early on there. You had Julian Janowski behind you after a mistake, and it was all about pushing yourself to get yourself into that limit and make sure that you broke away.
Yeah, not sure what happened to Julian. He was really struggling through Ireland, but I'm kind of glad he made the mistake. I'm really happy with the podium there.
Yeah, happy you should be, and well, it just seemed that Diogo and Jack, well, as soon as they broke away, it was just a case of being not in a position there to really catch back. There was contact between you and Julian as well, which didn't really help also, and it just seemed that when you started battling with Julian, any thoughts for the race win were out of the window.
Yeah, I was a little bit annoyed with the contact, but Julian did the right thing. He let me have the corner, and you know, shortly after that, it was a bit like, nah, never mind. At least I'm in 3rd. At least I didn't go off the track. At least he didn't spin as a result of it. So, yeah, I appreciate him for doing that.
Yeah, appreciate it, most certainly. And well, the next race of the night will be a reverse grid of some sort. Let's get up for the very first time then, the trademark wheel for the very first time, because we are going to work out how many places are going to be swapping on the grid. It's going to be so crucial. So, Mr. Samuli Kumo behind the camera, spin the wheel for us, and we'll see what sort of grid it is going to be. And so the number is 20 then, so people from 20th or what have you will then be in a position to spin. So, from 20th position, that is going to be your spin. That is going to be your grid for reversing for this second race of the night. It's been fantastic talking to you and Mr. Alex Everett, and well, we're going to take a very short break, and when we come back, race 2 will be there after this.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Truex in the outside contact made. 56 slides it at a 4. Who's going to be at the stripe? Dead even. Give it to Ryan Truex. Truex is your winner over Tandy.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
Welcome back then, ladies and gentlemen, to BSR MSA Kia World Series MSA, because we have official endorsation by the British Motorsport Association, and well, certainly going to be very interesting. If you there, viewer at home, if you would be part of this BSR Kia World Series, just pop yourself over to the Facebook group here of the BSR Kia World Series down in the description below. You will find yourself an easy way to get in. Just talk to the admins there, and it's some payments there of what is £2 per race weekend, or you got to pay yourself £12 for an entire season. Well, certainly what is going to be very interesting is if you want to get involved with iRacing, you're brand new to this service, make sure you join today and you can get 3 months for the price of one on your subscription with the promotional code PR-BSRTC. And of course, if you're looking for some cheap sim racing equipment, get €30 off any JCL sim racing equipment there with promotional code 5VATA1KA. All promotional codes down in the description. Of course, JCL sim racing to be faster, and of course, This is also sponsored by Crest Glazing. Crest Glazing for all your double glazing needs up in the Scottish Highlands. Toby, we have ourselves a reverse grid. We have ourselves 20 places being switched. It's basically a full reverse grid right now. So all the guys at the back going to the front, all the guys at the front are going to the back, and it's that concertina effect which is going to be so starting in the opening few laps.
Yeah, definitely. And if there's anyone at the back who's not as confident as getting a great start as some of the starting maestros we have usually at the front of the grid, that can cause a bit of a issue going, especially if we had such a big accident with the normal grid going into turn 1 because of the bottleneck effect. This will definitely, you know, multiply the chance of danger as a result of that. And yeah, I think it will make to make this race a bit more exciting, if that's even possible after race 1.
Yeah, and what's very interesting to work out here is you've got to look at track conditions. Of course, you race the first race in the morning, second race in the afternoon, the third race in the evening. This is your second race. This is afternoon conditions. Track, it's at its most hottest right now. Track temperature is 87 degrees Fahrenheit right now. Wind coming in from east direction at 12 miles an hour. It's going to be so crucial here, especially with the wind factor here. It's going to play so much havoc here with Slipstream when he comes down the Hanger Straight.
Yeah, definitely. The Hanger Straight is famous for being really windy, and so is Silverstone itself. I myself have been there in person, and I can vouch for the wind speeds are definitely something, you know, to be taken into effect. Yeah. As for going through different sessions at different times, that means that your peak high temperatures are probably going to be in the afternoon. So there's going to be most of the grip is going to be available on track for the drivers in the afternoon. So we'll have a few drivers, I suspect, taking full advantage of that, and maybe that allows them to push a bit more in that chicane. Maybe with a bit more track temperature, Janowski could have had a better morning this morning, Jake.
Most certainly, but you've got to remember, faster conditions are when the track is colder. When it's hot, the guys go a little bit slower, and that means that the cars, yes, may be more stable, there is more grip available, but there isn't enough to get yourself more get up and go. 20 seconds then till we grid up, and when we do, I can very quickly run you through your qualifying grid for what is round 2 of your BSR MSA Kia World Series here from the Southern Circuit here at Silverstone, the proverbial home of Apex Racing TV. And if we can eventually get those results up in about 10 seconds time, we'll be able to run you through your qualifying results. So, here we go. In another 3 seconds. We'll keep going. Keep running it out. We'll keep working it. We'll keep trying it. So, Marius Mulder then will put his car on pole position with Peter Van Gool alongside. Jason Greenfield locks out row 2 in Max Wright. Joe Dankert and Nathaniel Simpson row 3. Law Murray and Cesare Rizzo row 4. Row 5 is Adam Hadfield and Lewis Bibby row 6. Craig McLeod-Evans, the birthday boy, with Kip the Hairflick Stevens. Robert Plumley on row 7 with Gabriel Pereira. Then there's Ricardo Ferrara and Julian Janowski, Everett, Melrose, McIntyre, Jones and Reeder. That is how your 21-car grid looks for the time being. And well, they've got yourself 1 minute to get yourself on grid. That's why I am rushing very quick. Toby, predictions for race 2?
Race 2. Oh, I can't predict. I don't want to put the commentator's curse on anyone quite as badly as I did to poor old Julian Janowski. But Melrose, McIntyre, Everett, Janowski, it's going to be really fun to watch their start to this race.
You can hear the engines getting impatient, revving up. Everyone is ready there. Natey, Alex Everett then, last of the cars to get on grid. Everyone's there. We're waiting for the light on top of the iRacing gantry. And we will be, for round number 2, underway. Here, and it seems there. That's a fantastic start then from what is Peter Van Gool from second on the grid. He's going to have to do it the long way around into turn number 1. Bottleneck up, and Greenfield for the inside. Wasn't happening. Mulder spins around, and he'll go left and right. Car high in the air, Max right there. England machine, it's not worked out, and now you can see how everyone now tries to avoid the landmines. That was certainly not what he wanted to do. He was up on his roof and spinning round and around. There's contact in the midfield. That's Cesare Rizzo, and I believe that's Adam Hadfield as well. And another car goes off as well, and collects, I believe, Robert Plumley involved there, and also Craig McLeod-Evans. Oh, the birthday boy has got it all wrong. It's all kicking off here, Toby.
Unbelievable, and that's the stuff we were talking about, Jake, right at the start of this race. With the guys that are less confident at the front going to start at the front, that's going to cause a concertina effect as we've got a car completely cutting the chicane, getting a big slide. That was unbelievable there. It's amazing that he was able to keep that. I can't see who that was that Dankert passed him. I think it may have been Simpson that got that all wrong. So yeah, this has been one hell of a start. My apologies, I believe it was Greenfield who cut the chicane and made that mistake. But that's exactly what we was expecting, and the big boys may be able to take advantage of that.
Yeah, most certainly. You can see, though, guess whose Christmases have come all at once? It's Peter Van Gool in the Euro team. He is there, and he is away. And he's away by a lot, by a former Euro driver himself, Nathaniel Simpson. 2 seconds the gap earlier on, and Simpson gets a massive twitch and loses all sorts of time. And through will go Lewis Bibby, who got a win at the most famous race of Summit Point. Up into second position. So Bibby has done everything right, but it's not over yet, because Simpson looks at the inside, down on the brakes into the Abbey chicane. No, not going to happen. This is how your field looks. Van Gool, Bibby, Simpson, Stevens in 5th right now, because Alex Everett is through, and behind that, Dankert, Pereira, McIntyre, Jones, Melro, Janowski, Ferreira. It's all kicking off. You can see everyone looking for an opportunity. Pereira now under threat from Dankert. No, not going to happen. Down to Ireland, and he compromises the run here, Toby.
Definitely, and this is one hell of a moment. I mean, this if I was to be able to give you something to explain this right now, there's been that many position changes early on. Our timing is struggling to keep up. We've got drivers up and down all over the place, and Melrose there he's now getting a very good slipstream. He is closing in on the car ahead of him. I believe that's Tyler Jones. He's pulling to the outside. He's going to use the car on the outside's slipstream to try pull off an almighty manoeuvre that we saw McIntyre try, but he's not quite got the grip on this occasion. We got a car behind him looking up his inside. That's Janowski, obviously, and Janowski's now in this. This is one hell of a freeway battle going into the turn 1, and there goes Janowski up the inside of Melrose, and Melrose's going to hold it for the next inside of the corner. Just look at this group, Jake. It is all over the place. Janowski, Melrose, Jones, Ferreira. We've got everyone involved.
Oh, this is fantastic here to see. And a look for Tyler Jones to the inside and Dankert.
Oh.
No, there's contact between the two, and they're forced to go to the gravel. That's not worked out for either of them. They'll drop a multitude of positions, and that was very brave, very bold. Hasn't worked out, and now Ricardo Ferreira, a Portuguese driver in a Portuguese team versus a Portuguese driver in the Discovery team, looks for the opportunity, but no, it's not quite happening. But we've got to look further ahead here, because Kip Stevens and Gabriel Pereira, they're together on circuit here right now. It just seems for the moment, Toby, that everyone just needs to calm down.
It really does, and I think this reverse grid effect, Jake, has just given everyone the idea, right, we can do this. No matter where we start, you know, the slower drivers are going to be ahead, and we got to make sure. And I think that's the difference there between the experience of the front of the grid and just the pure excitement of the back of the grid being at the front. But I do say that, but Peter Van Gool has, absolutely nailed it, and he's made this absolutely perfect, as Kip Stevens now under pressure, ever-coming pressure from Pereira and McIntyre behind him, and it has just been... It has to be said, some people have been clumsy. Jones, made that bold move, but it's ultimately not paid off, and it's caused problems for him and the car he hit. And of course, we've got cars already a lap down. We've got Plumley, Chesney, Hadfield, Wright, and McLeod Evans, the birthday boy, having his birthday presents essentially from race 1 taken away from him.
Yeah, most certainly here. You can see the gap has come down, though, in that last lap. It was up at 2.5 seconds. It's now down to 1.4, and it looks a little bit less as well from Simpson. Big credit, though, to Alex Everett from 17th on the grid. He is up to 4th right now, and he has Lewis Bibby right in the crosshairs as he heads himself now down the old World War II what is the World War II airfield, into the right hand as they come along, and you can see he's close, but he won't be close enough just yet. Slow burner, Pereira losing out on the position to Jack McIntyre to the inside at turn number 1 as they head now for the club of 2. Pereira loses out there, Toby, and it just seems that Pereira's starting to fall the wrong way through the field.
Definitely, one Constantina effect, as we saw with Janowski, can lead to another one and cause incident after incident. But Jake, what we've got right now is we've got Simpson all over the back. He's pulled so much time on this last lap on Van Gool. I think there's been over 1.5 seconds on Van Gool pulled by Simpson this lap alone, and Bibby is following that progress, and Van Gool is under the most pressure he's been since turn 1.
Yeah, most certainly. Van Gool, of course, has not been the quickest around here. He does have a race win to his name at the fabled Daytona, which is the road we will head to for the season finale. Hard to the left-hand side he goes, far to the right-hand side, probably for your cameras. And now you can see Simpson looking to the inside for your race lead. And down on the brakes goes the Bristolian. And the Bristolian will surely get himself in. Oh, they get so close they almost touch. but it's still side by side. Van Gool hard on the defence then as he heads himself in towards turn number 1. They just came through the veil, and well, cutback opportunity. It's going to present itself. Everett is through as something has happened to Lewis Bibby earlier on, as now he's in all sorts of pressure then from what is going to be kick the head. Nick Stevens here, Toby.
This is unbelievable, and as then the Simpsons going to try it around the outside, and Van Gool has succumbed to the pressure and he's given way, but there's been a nudge between them, and that has allowed Alex Everett to go up the inside, and Alex Everett here may be able to take the lead. He's got the inside, you can see Simpson coming across to defend now, but is it going to be enough? It's going to squeeze him out wide, and that's going to give Van Gool the opportunity, but Van Gool ultimately backs out. He was not able to get it done through there. That was an unbelievable show of display as Everett is actually through now, and he is all over the back of Simpson, and that is the difference between getting it wrong and getting it right.
Most certainly it is. To think we're only one the way through your motor race. Everett from 17th on the grid within a space of 1/3 of a race looks to the lead from the outside as he heads to Stowe, and no, it will not happen at Stowe. He will have to wait as they head through the veil. So as things look at the moment, Simpson, Everett, and then Van Gool, but we have to keep looking here. Side by side action behind, and I believe that's Jack McIntyre. Oh, there's contact between the two, and take to the grass, boys, and now they start to just get a little bit worried. Look at their train now, 7 cars, all they're packed together in one little group, and while Kip Stevens heads the train right now, McIntyre now, contact, car across the gravel, and that's Ricardo Ferreira.
That's a big one.
The barrier, and the race is over then for the Portuguese sailor.
That was unbelievable. That was just such a tiny tap that caused such a big incident, and he will be absolutely livid with that result. He was having such a consistent reverse grid race. You know, it wasn't amazing, but it was what he needed. As we look to Pereira now, Pereira is gaining time all the time on Kip Stevens. Almost made a move through there, but eventually decided it was not the right decision. We'll look on the hanger straight now. We'll be able to see just how much time he is able to claw on the guy in front of him, which is the man himself, Stevens, and it's not going to be enough to make a move, but definitely Kip Stevens got something wrong through there, and that caused quite a dramatic incident. But for Ferreira, it has been an absolute nightmare at this stage.
Yes, it has. It means that he will have damage and he might just be out of the race, and that might affect him in terms of reverse grid status then down in towards turn number 1 and 2. They came along. What happened was it just seemed to be a move for Kip Stevens down the inside, didn't leave any room, and that just Constantined up the field. And now you look at the gainers in all of this. You look at the gainers like Janowski, Melrose, who have all gained up positions now up into 7th. This is the battle going on for 4th, and they are actually closing in on the leaders. Look at Stevens' last lap, that's 110.4. You look and compare that to Alex Everett, who was the slowest of 3, 110.1. They are still there. They are within 3 seconds at the moment, and 3 seconds could be absolutely everything, Toby, in the case of winning and losing.
Oh, definitely. With the gaps we've seen, 3 seconds is an absolute country mile for some of these guys. You know, Jack McIntyre getting very, very close to the back of Pereira there. There was almost another nudge with Melra behind him. Look at this train we've got going down Stowe. We've got a huge train with Jack McIntyre, the likes of Pereira, McIntyre, Melra, you know, they're all involved here. Kip Stevens leading the way. Kip Stevens still under pressure, and I do believe Pereira thought he was going to go for a move there, and backing out has caused McIntyre to get a move, and this is set up perfect. This is absolutely perfect for McIntyre. If he can use the slipstream of his teammate, everything that is ahead, he's going to try it around the outside. There was a nudge, and that's going to hold him up, but I don't think McIntyre believes he can get it done on the inside, but he's going to prove us all wrong, and he's going to get squeezed across the track, and that is of all 4 wheels off the line. I don't know how the stewards will view that. I don't know if he felt he was pushed off, but he definitely cut the corner there, Jake, and now we've got what appears to be Melra trying to make a move up the inside, but ultimately backs out.
Yeah, most certainly there. Jack McIntyre goes through then on Pereira by taking all 4 wheels off the circuit. That is going to be a misdemeanor that might be looked at by the race stewards after the race. Diogo Melra then looking at Pereira, not quite happening, but now this is going to allow the 2 Bermuda boys to start chasing down on the slowing Peter Van Gool. But you've got to remember there's a fight for your lead. We're halfway through your motor race right now, and it's Simpson from Everett, Van Gool there in 3rd, and they can see the 2 teammates here, the 2 Bermuda guys, side by side. McIntyre and Stevens, they're going to go at it as they head for Stowe. McIntyre on the outside. On the inside goes Kip Stevens, and what you can see as they head themselves down into the right-hander, it just seems for the moment Kip Stevens holds the line, holds it firm, but he's not clear because here comes McIntyre. McIntyre will go to the inside, and will he get the move? Melro looks as well on Pereira, but no, it's not going to happen. So they bunch up. Janowski now looking at an opportunity, and they door up behind.
This is unbelievable. The two guys leading this train are battling and the two guys behind this train are battling. And you just have poor old... Oh, contact! Big contact there. Who's that off? That's Pereira. Pereira shunted into the wall. And Melrose now trying to make a move on the Bermuda boy. And just unbelievable. It's so hard to keep up with what's going on. There's just so much action everywhere you look. And another driver whose afternoon's been ruined.
Yeah, Gabriel Pereira then, he just got a tag on the back of Jack McIntyre, and that caused him to jerk horribly to the left-hand side even, and lose that position, and he lost a lot of time. You can see a high attrition rate right now. We're down to just 12 cars circulating on the lead lap, and boy, what a race we are seeing right now. Here as we look, Janowski leads the train with Jack McIntyre. Stevens now has a gap and can look at Peter Van Gool. I think Nathaniel Simpson is taking away his premise right now. He's showing exactly what sort of pace he can have, because you look at Alex Everett, you look at the way he's fighting, look at the way he's digging and clawing, and he's got nothing at the moment. Gap is now 9/10 of a second front, but give massive credit to Peter Van Gool. He's holding on so hard, and he's still in a podium position so far.
Yeah, for a driver who's had literally not a lot of pace at all here this weekend, he is doing one hell of a job, and I've just been keeping an eye on this Melrose-McIntyre battle, Jake, and there is the pressure. The pressure is definitely becoming apparent at this stage for McIntyre. He made a mistake through the chicane, and that's allowed Melrose to close all over the back, and this has been the closest we've seen Melrose for the last couple of laps. Is that a car getting lapped up ahead, or is that for position?
No, it's not. This is for position here, Toby. That is Peter Van Gool. And this is going to be so deadly here. He's not got the run. A much better exit than from Kip the Heflick. You can see, he's going to lose 1 position, 2 positions, 3 positions, 4 possibly? Well, Janowski's going to look to the inside here on Kip Stevens, and it is all 4 then for Peter Van Gool, who drops a multitude of positions down the highway. And now you look at this train. This is now a podium fight for what is going to be a look. Melrose to the inside on Jack McIntyre. No, not going to happen. Janowski's looking very, very hungry right now in this battle. You can see it's all going to be about who can keep their nerve, who can keep ice cold under the pressure when the pressure's too hot. Nobody wants to get out of the kitchen. There's contact between the two, but he keeps it going there, Toby.
Yeah, definitely. That was a clumsy dive bomb. It was always going to end in tears. Thank goodness he was able to keep on to that, and that prevented another weekend from being ruined. In my opinion, that was a bit clumsy. Just to go back to the Van Gool really quickly, it may have looked silly that he was letting everyone go without defending, but I think that was quite smart. He knew he didn't have the pace to hold this train up, so if he lets the train go, he's able to follow them, follow their lines, and figure out what he needs to do to keep with them, as he's under pressure now from Lewis Bibby, who is looking to the outside, and they're actually wheel banging on the straight, Jay. They are hitting each other on the straight. They hit each other about 2 or 3 times there, and there goes Bibby up the inside, and ultimately Van Gool has to surrender.
Van Gool, you could argue, could have had a slow-down penalty there back at Ireland, trying to serve it, lose the time, but now you can see the clock ticking down. It's going to be 5 seconds to go. Van Gool going back through, but no, doesn't get it there on Lewis Bibby. This is unbelievable stuff here. As you look at Melrose, who's still on the back of Jack McIntyre. We do have to fight for the lead, remember. That's back down to half a second. We're going to need to look at that at some stage. But they are 4 astern. Let's look at the leaders right now. Alex Everett and Nathaniel Simpson have a 7-second gap. That is just how much the fighting is costing them at the moment here, Toby. And you just have to remember here, it could be all down on the far corner final lap that Alex Everett has to make the move. He's playing a fantastic game of chess right now.
Definitely, and he is very, the experience of Everett is definitely going to be a worry in Simpson's mind, in my opinion. He knows that he is a strong guy, but I'm just keeping my eye back again on the Melrose. Melrose never failing to provide, and this is incredible. We've got Janowski looking down Stevens inside, and we've got Melrose looking down McIntyre inside at the same corner, and both of the guys who was getting attacked for position, both the Bermuda boys, able to hold on this occasion, but Janowski looking to make a move around the outside again, and that it's just, and this battle is never ending as Janowski around the outside, and he's got the job done on the Bermuda boy, Jake.
Yes, he has. They could see Noah's Ark 2x2. Hurrah, hurrah, through goes Julian Janowski. He's up into the podium from what was 16th on the grid, and now you can see they funnel and file themselves through the Abbey chicane, and not quite close enough is the order of the day for the time being. You can see it's just so tight in what is one of your main battles, the battle for the final spot on the podium. And now you can see here, as you look at the front, Simpson is ever so slightly starting to break away. Of course, before we had the coverage here of the BSR Kia World Series, they had a trial-out series, and Nathaniel Simpson was their champion, Toby. So he really is one of the best racers in this field.
He really is, and the Bermuda boys right now side by side, and it looks like this might be synchronized swimming between the two of them. It looks like they may have asked to get out of the way because the other guy is just faster than you at the moment, and when they're under pressure from Melrose looking to go around the outside, and if this goes wrong for Melrose, then I believe it is McIntyre who can push out Melrose and get the position back, but it's not going to happen on this time. Is Melrose going to attempt a dive bomb? He's definitely outbroken him, and that's so close to making contact, and there is contact. There's a half spin, and he's come back and he's hit Melrose, and that was definite, that was on the wire stuff, and that is beautiful for McIntyre, who gets both his positions back.
Yes, you had to say it was a bold one. It was late and down to the inside again. There's contact, and round goes Diogo Melrose, who will feel that he should have been champion last season. He wasn't, and now he's made the mistake. He drops behind Tyler Jones, the American, there, and he's now down into what is 9th position on circuit. It has not worked out, but what it has done is meant that Janowski's on an island on his own for the battle for the podium. Save there for Jack McIntyre, who will now have to close in what is the final 3 minutes. We do have to look, though, to the front. The gap 9/10 of a second, but for the moment, I think Nathaniel Simpson in the 100 is holding on very strongly here, Toby.
Yeah, definitely, and during all that as well, Lewis Bibby has got past Stevens, and Van Gool did have quite a big off and managed to hold on to the car, so props to him. But the battle for the lead is definitely a lot closer than it's been the entire time. This is the closest it's been for such a long time, this race, and Everett will feel, if he's got a time to do it, his time is definitely now, Jake.
Yeah, most certainly here right now. You can see just how everything is going on. Excuse me about that, that's the door. But you look at this, Stevens has lost out the position to Lewis Bibby, and you can see this is what it's meant. This is the heart and soul of the BSR, and now you're looking at this one. The gaps are starting to open up a little bit. We are seeing these gaps starting to form, but there is one constant here. That one constant here is the battle between Alex Everett and Nathaniel Simpson now here, Toby. And you have to say, Simpson is not as far away as he has been on previous laps, but he is just keeping that gap enough here. 109.6 last time by for him. Compare that to a 109.4 for Alex Everett. It's just enough at the moment to hold him at bay.
It's definitely that, Jake. He's doing everything he needs right now to hold the experience and the pure, relentless Welsh speed of Everett behind him at this moment. The Welsh driver definitely will be wanting to get past the number 100 car in front of him, and he will want that win, as they both make a little lock up there. But Alex Everett actually uses it to his advantage, and absolutely, you can just see from the helicopter cam there that there was just such a difference in how close to the apexes they were, and that is where Everett is finding these extra few temps every lap that he's needing to chisel away. But it has to be said that a lap time, the time from Simpson currently stands better than Everett, but Everett is proving us wrong. You know, we wouldn't know that if it wasn't for the timing, because Everett just looks so much faster right now, Jake.
Yes, he certainly does. You can see into Ireland they come along. There will be one more lap after this, if my calculations are correct. 1 minute 18 seconds when they cross the line. So yeah, we will have one more lap to go after this. It's going to be a showdown between Simpson and Everett, independent versus Cymru, and well, you have to say it's a battle over the 7 to see who can take the win. And well, now into the right hand they come along. Traffic to negotiate as well. That's the lap down Cesare Rizzo, and also the lap down Craig McLeod Evans to boot as well. So you have to say one more lap of your motor races there to go, and now 8 seconds has done it, and they're off ahead of them, and they've got to be careful. Simpson has run incredibly wide down at turn number 1 through Club Corner. They come along past the Bridgestone thing there, and the Vodafone markings there on the outside there on the asphalt. now run in towards the right-hander. And Everett's there, Everett has a fantastic opportunity. He's all over the bumper, and he might look at it at Ireland. He might have to look at it down at the hangar straight. He's got one opportunity. It's do or die in the words of the management of Kimi Räikkönen. But now, you see, he waits here into the one-line suits-all corner, and a little bit of a brake check, a little bit from Nathaniel Simpson. He's got to look. There's got to be an opportunity. Beckett is now the corner that decides the fate. Chappell, the small kink left, and now the hangar straight. Is he within 3/10? I think he is for the moment, but there's a little bit of benefit of slipstream from Rizzo up ahead. Here we go. This is it. One more corner. It comes down to Stowe on the brakes. I don't think it's going to be enough for Everett. I think he's held it. I think Nathaniel Simpson will be a race winner in race 2. And what a race! What a race we've seen! Simpson holds out Everett, and there you can see Janowski third, McIntyre fourth. Lewis Bibby will come across the line in fifth, with Stevens holding out Van Gool. Toby, what a race!
We need a moment to catch a breath after that, don't we? We had so many people in the wall, we had so many people, there was just everything, and Simpson took full advantage of that. Unfortunate day for Van Gool, he had it all there. The silly mistakes, one after another, led to Nathaniel Simpson being able to display his skills in front of the one and only Alex Everett, who was so close, but so far in the end, Jake.
Yeah, most certainly, but what it does mean is that it is a second consecutive podium for the Cymru driver, and if he wanted number one driver status, he's certainly going to get it right. And wow, what a race we have just seen. And well, what we can do for you now is run you through your official classified results then from race 2 here from a fantastic circuit of Silverstone Southern. Nathaniel Simpson wins in the end by just 0.3 of a second over Alex Everett. Janowski will come home for a podium in third with Jack McIntyre alongside fourth. Lewis Bibby there will finish in fifth with Kip the Hairflick Stevens sixth. Peter Van Gool there in seventh. Tyler Jones eighth for the F4H America team. There's Diogo Mauro in 9th after an incident, and rounding out the top 10 is Lorne Murray. Further back, Joe Dankert and Marius Mulder, the other guys who finished on the leading lap. Guys who are a lap down or failed to finish. Look at Jason Greenfield, Gabriel Pereira, Cesare Rizzo, Robert Plumley there in the 147, Adam Hadfield, Craig Clad Evans, the birthday boy, Henry Reeder, Ricardo Ferreira, and Max Wright. But we can do for you now, hopefully, is we might be able to get yourself a very quick driver interview, and we will, because we will bring for you your race winner here tonight, here from round 2. We will bring you a Mr. Nathaniel Simpson. Nathaniel, what a race that was. It just seemed for you that after the incident on lap 1, the gap formed for Peter Van Gool, and it was all about closing that gap.
No, I nearly stuffed it at the end there.
Oh yeah, almost there, but it was just a case of just keeping yourself calm, keeping yourself cool. You were putting yourself in the right position, got yourself into the race lead, but Alex really pushed you hard, and from the back of the grid as well. That is a very solid performance from him as well.
Yeah, was he right at the back, was he?
Yeah, he was. He started off in, I believe, 17th position, pushed himself then up to finish in P number 2, so that's his second consecutive podium. But for you, a treasured race win that you were struggling to get at the end of last season, so you have to say your form's really been in.
I'm pleased with that. I haven't been in the car for probably over 2 weeks, so I wasn't really expecting to get a victory tonight, so I'm very pleased with that. It takes a while to get used to the car, to be honest, once you've been out of it for a while.
Yes, it does, most certainly, but we do have one more race after this, and you're going to be starting wherever the wheel trademark will put you. So what are you hoping for? You're hoping for a good result for the final race of the night?
Yeah, it's obviously early season, so just finishing's a bit of a bonus at the moment. So, yeah, hopefully I'll be quite close to the front.
Yeah, close to the front indeed. Thank you for joining us, Nathaniel. But Samuli Kumo put up on the screen for you the trademarked wheel once again. We're going to spin it for you, and for the final race of the night, which will be coming up after the break, we will now find out for you right now. The reverse grid is going to be spin the wheel. P number 8 is the number, so the top 8 are going to split themselves up. So Tyler Jones will start off on pole position. What will be the final race of the night? It is certainly going to be one that you need to look out for. It's certainly going to be interesting. So When we come back after these messages, it's going to be the final race of the night. Round number 3 from Silverstone Southern. Don't go away.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Truex in the outside, contact made. 56 slides it at a 4. Who's going to be into the stripe? Dead even, give it to Ryan Truex. Truex is your winner over Tandy.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, then to your BSR MSA Kia World Series, streaming live on iRacing Live, brought to you by Apex Racing TV. And why do we say MSA? Because we have ourselves official recognition from the British Motorsports Association. And also, you've got to remember, if you want to join this series, the BSR Kia World Series, head yourself down to the Facebook group just below in the description, and, well, we'll sort yourself out. It's £2 for one race weekend, and it is £12 even for what is a race season. And, well, you've got to remember here, if you want to be brand new and if you want to join iRacing.com, it's going to be easy. 3 months for the price of one with the promotional code PR-BSRTC. And, of course, you can get €30 off any JCL sim racing equipment to be faster with promotional code 5VATA1KA. And, of course, all the codes will be down in the description as well. And, of course, it was sponsored by Crest Glazing to be faster. And, well, it certainly has been a fantastic race, but we have to remember here, Toby, is Peter Van Gool. He finished in the end 7th, and now he's in a position where he's trying to get back up to where he was. He's going to now qualify on the front row once again and has the best opportunity to have a great race result.
Yeah, definitely his chance at redemption after that race. You know, it's hard to describe his race in race 1. It was a race made in heaven for Van Gool at the start, and it slowly began that descent into hell. And he'll be making sure that as long as he can keep his nose clean into turn 1, then I think he has a good shout. He knows the drivers around him now, and I think he's going to be able to have a really good chance here today, Drake.
Most certainly, this practice session is over, so my very quick linguistic skills will go into effect here, because this is your grid for what is now the final race of the night. And so it will be on pole position. Tyler Jones, the American for F4H America, he's joined alongside by Peter Van Gool. Kip the Hairflick there in 3rd with Lewis Bibby 4th. Janowski 5th, Everett 6th. Simpson there in 7th with Diogo Muro there in 8th. Lord Murray 9th with Joe Dankert running out the top 10. Marius Mulder there in 11th. Jason Greenfield, Gabriel Pereira, Cesare Rizzo, Robert Plumley there, Adam Hadfield, Craig McLeod-Evans, Henry Reid and Ricardo Ferreira, and Max Wright 20-car grid. So Jack McIntyre will not take any effect in the final race of the night. That's going to be so crucial. Result for your final race of the night then, Toby? Who you got to pick?
I think that we are going to see the final charge of Janowski tonight. Everett 2.
Everett is certainly going to be there to watch. He got 3rd, he got 2nd. I think he can get that race win, which has been eluding him so far. You can see everyone's get ready, getting impatient, revving up. Engines are revving for the final time tonight here at the circuit. Silverstone Southern underway we go. And it's a great start for Tyler Jones. Poor one for Peter Van Gool. Bibby threads the needle on the run down to what is turn number 1. They all go sliding, slipping, and they all keep themselves in. Everett has to check up, and now you can see also Van Gool there in the grass, and they all got to avoid in 6s and 7s. There's Jason Greenfield in the Bermuda car, who has to go and get himself out of the way, but generally it's been all right on the night for the start battle. Everett looking at Melrose here. Danny inside into the right-hander, and yes, he does get it sorted, but cold tyres are slippy tyres, and slippy tyres are tyres which you do not want to be sliding on.
Everybody forgot going into turn 1 just how unstable these Kias are. I've been listening to driver feedback, and they say on these cold tyres, these cars are an absolute nightmare. And I think everyone just forgot about that, Jake, going into turn 1, which caused everyone to slip and slide, as you said. But luckily, there has been no major incidents yet.
No major incidents as of yet. Battle for 2nd then, down the hanger straight. Janowski looking at Kip the Hairflick Stevens then. He'll go to the inside, yes he will. And now you can see there's nothing Stevens can do except hold it on the outside. Jean Lacey last of the late breakers. and Kit the Hairflick Stevens does a very good job of holding it, but round the outside has worked into turn number 1. We've seen it before, but no, I don't think he's quite close enough there. Julian Janowski, Everett looking to the inside, but no, round the outside will go Janowski, who's still got a bit of the nose. Oh, they get so close. There is a bit of contact between the two, and there's more contact there with Everett behind. They're all starting to get a little bit twitchy here, and Melrose just seizing the opportunity.
Yeah, definitely going on up there. I've just been keeping my eye on the battle towards the back of the grid that is going on right now. Pereira and I believe Murray having a bit of contact as well in the same place, going into turn 1 and then into the chicane. So that's definitely a battle to keep your eye on as well. Definitely squeezing up towards the back. The birthday boy under attack from Hadfield, who thought about going up the inside there, and Ferreira up the inside of Rizza, and there was a bit of contact there. Both of them have got away with it. This battle's all over the field yet again.
Yeah, most certainly there is.
Oh, more contact. Sorry to interrupt, but Rizza has just half spun Plumley, and they've both gone very, very wide there, Jake. Sorry about that.
Replay up on screen. Let's see what's happened then. Run down into Beckett's then. You can see goes to the inside, tags the back. Nothing Plumley can do. He's just going to have to sit there and wait and see exactly what's happened. He does have a slowdown, which means that puts him down the order. But your field looks a little bit like this. Tyler Jones out in the way here at the moment. Melrose to the inside, contact with Everett. Everett couldn't do anything about it, but he keeps it going. Keeps himself in the right position. But they do lose time now to Janowski and Stevens, who are looking to close in on the American Tyler Jones, who has had an awful first race, who had a mediocre second race, and now holds the race lead at the moment for Tyler Jones. He's in a step into the unknown here, Toby.
Yeah, definitely, and Janowski talking about that final charge I expected from him in this final race. He's certainly not letting me down this time, not after race 1, but, you know, there's a long way to go, and we've seen just how well Janowski...
Whoa, Melrose collects... He's got a glossy there, but he loses an island. He collects the wall, and after starting from 8th here in this race, he's gone and fallen all the way back down the field. I don't know how much damage he'll have at that, but that was a high-speed one, and that was scary, as a car also goes off, and that's Lorne Murray.
Yeah, definitely the back of that Melrose car looking a bit buckled. Max Wright looks like he has a bit of damage as well. But yeah, definitely Melrose got it completely wrong there. And unfortunately, that's the second race in succession. It slipped away from him, Jake.
Yeah, has been there. You can see down to the side in towards what is turn number 1. Looks but not given. But now you can see here this train is now a massive train of 5 behind Tyler Jones, and he's got to be careful. Nathaniel Simpson in the 100. Now the independent driver, he gets himself onto the back. Stevens now has a little bit of a look, half defensive as well. This is the most difficult thing because you're playing cat and mouse with everybody else in the field, and you got to remember Janowski and Everett here, Toby, because the rivalry, it will continue into this next race.
Yes, definitely. Indeed, as well, added to that rivalry in race 1, remember, when we had that tap from Janowski on Everett. Everett didn't feel hard done by, you know. They made an apology, they got on with what they needed to do, but maybe Everett knows that Janowski will bump you if he needs to, and he is actually what appears to be like bump drafting effectively on the hanger straight here, Jake. And, you know, he's now looking to the inside, but, you know, I think Kip Stevens will be like saying, you know, come on, mate, calm down a bit, but Janowski has got that charge inside of him, and he wants a final podium to round off the night, Jake.
Yes, he certainly does. P3 at the moment. Everett runs a little bit wide. He's on the cusp. But Nathaniel Simpson now will take a little look to the inside. Last little late brakes. No, not going to happen there for Simpson, who has to go right into the left-hander and loses a lot of time. And now Lewis Bibby on the back here for the England team. And England are having a fantastic showing. Of course, this is not just a Drivers' Championship. This is also a Constructors' Championship as well. And I think Bermuda have done very well. But for the time being, you have to say Kip Stevens holding fort in second. Tyler Jones for the Americans is really putting in a stint right now. Heads himself now down towards Ireland then. What is going to be the right, left, right. Coming up right now, you can see that braking there into the right, left, right is so difficult, but they all get themselves through nicely. As Everett, massive twitch there from Janowski. Everett to the inside, looks for the opportunity, and it's going to have to be down the hanger straight.
Yeah, definitely, and that is something to keep an eye on. You know, we've got a few pointers to go on in this race. We've got Lorne Murray in the pits, so something happened to him, and it looks like his afternoon is over, but Everett looking to the inside. Melrose making progress up the field, and so is Everett. Everett looking to the inside of Janowski, and none of them are going to cut each other quarter. It's these two drivers. We know what they're like. We know they don't want to give each other any more room than they absolutely have to, and it looks like Everett is thinking of that dive bomb, but Janowski's made a very late defence. There was a tap there. There was a very slight tap, and if Janowski didn't know then, he definitely knows now that Alex Everett is there and ready to pounce.
He means business, but back down the field, Diogo Moro looking at Henry Reeder then. Barrick in a 16 machine. He's got Max Wright as well, the England driver, just ahead as well. That's the battle for 12th, 13th and 14th. But we have just seen Ricardo Ferreira lose the position then to what is Adam Hadfield in the Cymru team. You can see all over the back once again, looking for an opportunity towards Ireland then. And you can see right now, here to the outside will have to go Pereira. It's going to be bold, but no, he has to lift out of it as Adam Hadfield holds the position for the time being. But Toby, this battle at the front, trainer 5, this is stunning.
I don't know where to keep my eyes. It's you know, everywhere. Yet again tonight, we've got drivers every which way, battling every which way. And that is, here we go, Kip Stevens trying to make a defensive move on Janowski, which is going to lose him a bit of time to Tyler Jones in front. Janowski keeping it around the outside. Everett thought about going up the inside, and Nathaniel Simpson has closed in, and Nathaniel Simpson's one to watch here, going into turn 1. And there, Tyler Jones has been overtaken for third, side by side, banging wheels, and Janowski stains down the inside. And there, Simpson, contact between Simpson and Everett. There was a bump, and there goes Simpson up, and then that allows Lewis Bibby to go up past Everett as well.
It's absolutely kicking off right now. Everett now drops himself down to P6. All that work gone. Has to do it all over again. We're 7 minutes in, and Tyler Jones, this is resilient against a two-time BSR Pro Series champion in Kip the Hairflick Stevens. This is resiliency of the highest caliber from Tyler Jones. But now you look, Janowski will be looking to hound. Kip Stevens still looking for that maiden race win. And you have to say, any one of these 6 drivers can take it. But look who's on the back now of this group. It's Pereira. Down the hanger straight they come along. Janowski looking for a chance. Will have to do it the long way around. Does have the slipstream though. On the brakes they go. And well, you can see, having to try and run the long way around. They're going to go try and go 3 wide midway through the corner. Not going to happen. Slide as well from Nathaniel Simpson. Loses out to Lewis Bibby in the end. This is great stuff. As a look for the race lead potentially. No, not going to happen down into turn 1.
Yeah, Janowski just trying to squeeze out Stevens, get a position there. Stevens is having absolutely none of it. Lewis Bibby made a move on Nathaniel Simpson now, and he fancies a podium today. And there we go, did you see that there? Nathaniel Simpson and Alex Everett banging wheels, oh so close, and there goes Stevens up the inside, oh! And there goes Simpson across the gravel, made a move that could have almost cost everyone that pace, and the battle is insane. Tyler Jones is absolutely loving seeing this in his rear mirror. Janowski around the outside of Kip Stevens, what a manoeuvre through there. We know how unstable these cars are, and the fact that Janowski had the confidence in his car to get around there was a truly beautiful piece of art, and that has allowed Pereira now in the background, has got past Bibby, and is now going to assault Alex Everett.
Yeah, most certainly. Gabriel Pereira, the big gain out of all that. Simpson had to go across the chicane, missed his braking point. Bibby was lucky, he collected Alex Everett, didn't happen. Battle for your race lead! To the inside, and Tyler Jones will hold it around outside at Stowe and will look through the veil to secure the position. Has the inside then for turn number 1 and then into club. You can see later on the brakes, but does he overshoot it? Cut back, comes along and round the outside. Great move, great move.
That was beautiful.
And now, here comes Kip Stevens. There's a bit of contact.
Oh.
And he almost went round. And he's on the grass. And Tyler Jones from hero to 0 as Everett now looks at the inside in the battle for second and gets the position sorted.
Yeah, definitely. Tyler Jones is going to be absolutely livid. Another thing to note, that the birthday boy, Craig MacLeod Evans, has been charging this entire race, has been catching this group, and now he's all over the back of Jones. Jones is going to be furious, and he's not going to want to lose another position to Craig MacLeod Evans, but you have to wonder, is that going to demoralise him as Janowski gets a lovely lead? And this is what he wanted to do in race 1, but instead it looks like he's in control again, and he's going to look to do it for race 3 this time around, Jake, as Craig MacLeod Evans is in the slipstream. He's going to go look for the move. He's darted to the outside. He sold the dummy, but Tyler Jones has got him backed off. He's got him absolutely. That was beautiful defending from Tyler Jones there. Craig had nowhere he could go, as he's got another car, Ricardo Ferreira, on the back of this train now. Look how close MacLeod Evans is to Jones, and he's going to go up the inside, and he's going to outbrake him. And is he going to be able to hold it this time around? I don't know, but oh, very wide there from Tyler Jones, and it's just gone from bad to worse for Jones, but a beautiful manoeuvre, what we wanted to see from the birthday boy Evans, but he's not out of the clear yet, Jake.
No, certainly not. Ricardo Ferreira looking at the outside. No, not going to happen. Wait for the time being. Look up then, further through your field. Pereira is sniffing a debut podium then. here for the number 30 machine, looking at Kip the Hairflick Stevens, who's just seen a race win go away from him. Gapper when they cross the line, 1.8 seconds then towards Julian Janowski. But now you have to look at this battle for second. Everett and Stevens then, these two have had a lovely battle all throughout last season, and they'll be looking to do the same again. Down the hanger straight they come along, and don't count out Bibby and Simpson here, Toby, because you have to remember they're in a fight as well. It's all or nothing right now, as to the inside goes Simpson, and to the inside, very comfortable.
Yeah, definitely. It did look a bit like he was going to struggle to get the machine slowed down there in front of Bibby, but he's managed to do so. And yeah, definitely the battle for second is a magnificent thing, and it's even more of a magnificent thing if you are Julian Janowski. This is exactly what you need. But cutting back to the McLeod, Evans and Ferreira battle, it's as close as it's ever been, and you have to wonder, is this the moment where Evans loses it all? Because he's absolutely under pressure here. Ferreira already to the inside line. Craig squeezes him almost off the track there. Ferreira backed out, and I'm sure Ferreira will be giving Craig a very nice hand gesture in that car, but McLeod Evans himself goes a bit on the grass there, and that's given the Ferreira the opportunity. He's going to sell the dummy. Look how defensive Craig McLeod Evans is. Every single time, Craig is a master of defence at the moment, and I'm sure it's absolutely winding up Ferreira to the most you can do, Jake.
Imperial Iron Wall, that's what you can say about Craig McLeod Evans right now. Here as he heads himself down the hanger straight, he will be under threat. We're just going to look further up because Alex Everett is also under threat here from Kip the Hairflick Stevens. It's going to be a look, is it down to the inside? No, he's going to stay behind just for the time being on the run down into Stowe Corner. Look at this, to the inside goes Pereira, and an iron wall might just be broken, but it is certainly bent, but not broken right now. McLeod Evans holds the inside line for what is turn number 1 now, as we have ourselves 7 minutes to go on the clock. No, not going to happen into turn number 1. It's a waiting game. It's a very patient waiting game, and I'll tell you who's playing the waiting game very well. His name's Gabriel Pereira right now here, Toby.
Yeah, definitely. And another guy to add to that list is Tyler Jones, slowly closing in on this Ferreira and McLeod Evans battle, as they're oh so close. Everyone is so close. You need more than 2 eyes. You can't view all this action at the same time as much as you want to, because as soon as one battle finishes, another starts, and the battles are overlapping each other. And Janowski, honestly, couldn't have asked for a better race, as Pereira very close to the back of Stevens now. Very close indeed, as we are on the straight, and this is the opportunity Pereira is looking for. The slipstream all the way, both following the racing line. Is he going to go to the inside or the outside? Is Stevens going to defend, or is he going to let it happen? Are they even going to be close enough? No, somehow Stevens holds on, and it does appear to look like he had the slipstream of Everett, which just saved him. But now we have Nathaniel Simpson, who thinks, I'm going to have some of that as well. And is he going to make a lie? Yes, he is. He's going to think about it. Stevens very, very, very close there to hitting Everett as well.
Yeah, most certainly you can see right now, everyone is just trying to count their chickens. Everyone's staying in line. Of course, the 5-minute warning will be coming pretty soon. We do have 4 retirees at the moment: Lord Murray, Robert Plumley, Adam Hadfield, and Henry Reeder also. So, at the moment, 16 cars circulating on circuit. Not quite enough at the moment here in this battle. You can see just battle starting to cool off a little bit. Max right there on the back of Diogo Melro. Then this is the battle for 10th on circuit. Of course, Melro trying to recover after early incident. And you can see 109.6 that time by. That is about leader's pace, and he'll be looking to try and get a little bit more out of it. He's 4 seconds actually off of the next car of Tyler Jones.
Yeah, definitely that's going on as well. And just to keep you guys informed, Ferreira did make a move on the iron wall. The siege was broken, and he was able to break the defence of the Scotsman, who is now, it has to be said, struggling to keep with Ferreira, and Ferreira's on an absolute charge. He's already, Jake, he's already on the back of Bibby. That was about 6/10 he's closed, not even in a lap. That's been in about a sector. Ferreira is absolutely on fire with his times right now, but there's just not enough time to keep an eye, as like you said, because the Everett, Stevens, Ferreira and Simpson battle is still on absolute fire, and I don't know where to keep my eyes, but I'm going to keep my eyes on this one, because Ferreira looks like he's finally going to be able to make that move he's been lining up for quite some time on Bibby, but Bibby's got him covered on this occasion, but it doesn't look like he's going to be able to get it on the cutback, or is he? Who's going to get the better exit here? I think Ferreira's got the better exit. He's already looking to the inside. Look at him already coming over to defend, and he's going to get the slipstream, and they're both not going to be able to make anything of it this time around, Jake.
No, certainly not. You can see Bibby here just trying to hold on here from the hard charging Ricardo Ferreira. Tyre wear starting to take its toll here in the final 5 minutes of this race. And now Ferreira with a good run, and he's got it on the Englishman. You can see he moves to the inside. No defence given from Lewis Bibby. He knows he's a man who's beat right now. Down into Stowe corner, down the hanger straight, and well, on the brake, yeah, it's going to be there. Ferreira moves up, the Portuguese sailor, but it's not quite over, all over the bumper. Is it going to happen? Is it going to be there? We're going to wait, but no, to the outside he looks. And
contact from
to the
Evans.
inside, there's contact between the two, and they keep it together, but McLeod Evans trying to run it around the outside, side by side though behind, well in front even, Simpson, Pereira, looking at it into the Abbey chicane, not for the moment. Let's focus on this one, Toby, because this one is for the podium with so little time remaining.
Yeah, unbelievable, and I don't know what's going to happen. It's still anybody's podium. Pereira under a lot of pressure from last race's winner, Nathaniel Simpson. He's all over there. He's not going to let this go. Pereira trying to get some form of aid, or Stevens in front of him. He's just trying to stay in his slipstream. Everett, has to be said, that Everett is in the worst position right now. No slipstream ahead of him, and he's got a train of 3 cars in quite a mighty slipstream train behind him, and he's positioning his car slightly off the racing line to the middle. Came over a little bit there to try, just warn Stevens not to go through there. That's not his corner. And, oh, look at this stuff. Stevens thinks, no, screw that, mate. That is my corner, and I'm going to have you. And this is absolutely incredible. Is he going to be able to get him into the next corner? Not going to happen on this occasion. Very, very close there from Pereira, nearly hitting the back of Stevens. There's so much racing to do in so little time to do it. And who do you think is going to be able to take this one? Because I don't have a clue, Jake.
It's going to be very interesting. Everett trying to defend a triple podium, a feat he hasn't achieved since he went all the way back to Laguna Seca in one of the drives of the season, one of the race weekends of the season. If he stays where he is, he's surely going to be leading the championship, heading himself to Watkins Glen in 1 week's time. But into Ireland they come along, and Pereira is sniffing a podium here, a first podium. Simpson, we know he's got a race win under his belt. This is a fatal four-way for what is going to be a fantastic race. It will be 2 to go, potentially, when they next cross the line. It's going to be interesting to see what sort of times are there. But you can see right now, Stevens looking inside. Will it happen? Answer is going to be yes, he is going to look to the inside. And Alex Everett can't do anything about it. To the outside he has to defend. And it's brave, it's bold. But the corner at the moment is Stevens. But now the inside line is going to be there. And Pereira under threat now. So you can see Noah's Ark, 2x2. Down to turn number 1. We're going to have one more lap after this, Toby. It's so tight.
It's going to be an absolute treat to commentate on this last lap. If you guys are at home or enjoying this, just think of us here in the box. This is one fantastic race we've had here today, and this is arguably being one of the best battles we've seen all weekend, as the train is refusing to separate, and there's no gaps being created between any of them. Everett desperately wants that podium, finally getting that triple podium that he's been seeking for so long, and it just feels as if Kip Stevens gained a lot of time on Everett through there, but now Kip Stevens has got a wrong line, and there goes Pereira up the inside of Stevens. I don't think Stevens is going to be able to hold this one from Pereira. Pereira's got a position for now, but I might be wrong, because this leads to the inside, which gives Pereira the opportunity to fight it on the outside, and now we've got Simpson. Simpson, it might be 3 abreast coming into this corner, Jake.
3 abreast, that's the best. Here we go. Oh, there's contact between the two. And they keep it all together, do they? Yes, they do. Still 3 wide as they head themselves down through Stowe. Goes back to 2 wide. And that's heart-in-mouth stuff for the final spot on the podium. Stevens to the inside on the final lap. More contact across the nose. And Simpson now has lost the gap. And here comes Ricardo Ferreira, who could sniff a podium if it all goes to pot on the final lap of this race. We are going to have to cut away at some stage here from this one. Stevens looking at the opportunity, final podium place, but the gap is starting to form, and I think Pereira saw the one opportunity, and the one opportunity hasn't come to light through turn number 1. Into Ireland they come along, and it's all about the run. Is there any chance then for what is there? You've got to look at Pereira as well, who is going to be there, and Ferreira, both of them, the 2 Portuguese sailors, who are looking for a bit of a discovery, you could say. But now down the hanger straight, we have to cut over to Julian Janowski, who has done a fantastic job, broken away when he needed to do, for what is now the Highlanders team. He rounds the final corner and he will call himself a race winner in Season 2. Janowski will win in very convincing fashion, but you got to look behind. No position changes, nothing at all. Stevens on the podium, Everett gets the triple podium crown, Ferreira so close, Simpson so close, and also you got to look at Pereira as well. Melrose in the end will take over Max Wright. What a race, what a weekend, as Tyler Jones has blown his engine.
Yeah, just absolutely phenomenal stuff. To debut commentating at this race, you know, it has been a fantastic experience. I almost lost my voice towards the end of this race. I think that shows just how much action there was, and Janowski walks away with the win. He's so deserved after losing it all in race 1.
Wow, what a race, but we can now bring you official classified results then from what is the final race of this night, and it is here from what is the circuit of Silverstone Southern. Well, in the end, it's Julian Janowski who takes the win by 1.1 seconds in the end over Alex Everett, running out of fuel over the line. Kip the Hairflick Stevens will finish on the podium with Gabriel Pereira just so agonisingly close to a debut podium. Nathaniel Simpson will finish 5th, Ricardo Ferreira the second of the Portuguese sailors in 6th, with Diogo Melrose 7th and Max Wright in 8th. You can see Tyler Jones blowing his engine coming to the line. Joe Dankert there in 11th. Cesare Rizzo there also. Jason Greenfield, Marius Mulder, and then the cars who are struggling towards the end. McLeod Evans and Bibby, they had themselves an incident with 2 to go. That didn't end well. It ended in tears. Peter Van Gool, Henry Reeder, Law Murray, Adam Hadfield, and Robert Plumley, the independent 147 machine. That has not worked out in their favour. But what we can do is bring back in the man who has got himself a triple podium right now. His name is Everett, and well, Alex, you do have to say it is a triple podium right now for you. It's a second place of the night, and what has to be said is, surely you are leading the Drivers' Championship heading to Watkins Glen.
I'm extremely pleased. You know, coming out of Season 1, I was really disappointed with how the end of the season turned out for me. And I came into this season just thinking, you know, just keep it clean, just get it to the end of the races, and let's just see how it goes. And I couldn't have wished for a better meeting, to be honest.
Better meeting indeed, but you did have yourself a very scary moment early on in the race. You did have to worry a little bit about the likes of Bibby, the likes of Simpson there. You did drop yourself down to 6th, and you had to fight your way back through. So that's real true grit and determination from you, surely, that got you to that second place finish tonight.
Yeah. I won't comment on the incident itself. It was a bit debatable, but I knew that they just top and tail all over each other. I knew they'd be banging. I knew I'd be able to keep up with them, so I just let them carry on. And eventually, they did all come together, and I managed to creep through into 2nd.
Yeah, very interesting, and of course Watkins Glen. I don't know if you like Watkins Glen or not, although we do share a good friendship between you and I, but Watkins Glen, certainly an interesting circuit. Of course, we're going to run the full classic boot layout as well, so you're going to see them head in through the toe, through the heel. It's very much a racer's circuit, so is it going to be a circuit for you which you are going to be interested in? Is it one that you think suits you?
Yeah, I really like Watkins Glen. We did some pre-season testing there, and I won the race, so I do like it, and it's a bit like an oval, really, but with right-hand turns. So I think it's going to be very exciting racing yet again at Watkins Glen.
Very exciting racing indeed. Thank you for joining us, Alex Everett. 3 podiums in the race, but what a fantastic night we have had here on iRacing Live on Apex Racing TV. That's all we have time for, unfortunately, tonight, but a massive thank you then to everyone who participated tonight in the BSR Kia World Series. Big thank you then to Samuli Kumo behind the cameras. A big thank you to everyone who put themselves in the top position. That has been Toby Burn. I have been Jake Sparey. This has been your BSR MSA Kia World Series. And the triple podium comes back. And coming out of Silverstone and heading to the Glen, Alex Everett will have his head held high as the Cymru team hits himself really, really well. Good night.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community.